Smash that add button.
And like that bell or something. Good. Right. I believe we are here. Hello. Oh, kind of. You're in charge of the frame, so yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll sit down as well. I'm going to sit down and drink water. That's it. That's the show. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, my hydration homies.
Yeah. Y'all drinking water? I drink so much water. I drink water all the time. Just all day, every day.
So much bullying.
Yeah. Alright. It is insidious though. Like, I'm not even that hot, but just, it gets to you, the heat, doesn't it? Alright. It's too hot to play games. I'm looking forward to getting home and just closing the curtains, and my flat will be cool because it is sheltered on all three sides. Okay. Welcome to the show early. Oh, it's like 1 minute early. It's not like you miss anything by being here at the very start. We always open the show with some... Yeah. We always open the show on just nonsense. I say, just... Now we're just not talking.
We don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
Ha.
I'm going to turn off the oscillation on the fan. Because like I do not even feel that. I've had the fan on just so it's circulating air in the room, but I'm just like, I cannot even feel that from here. Cease your oscillations, fan.
Now you've got to talk into it.
That was my impression of me talking into a fan.
These kids these days with their iPhones and their iPads. When I was a kid, I had a fan and I was happy about it.
I was looking at air conditioning units on Amazon last night. You can get a portable air conditioning unit that's 9,000 BTUs, which is enough for a room.
Is it actually an air conditioning unit? Does it actually use the refrigeration cycle?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
and latent heat.
Okay, it's not a swamp cooler.
No.
Sold as portable AC.
No, you can get an actual honest to God portable air conditioner that is 9,000 BTUs, which is enough to cool our room for, I think it was like £170. Huh. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even care if it's not fantastic. For sub £200, I might just buy it. You know.
Yeah. I don't know how BTUs transfer into kilowatts.
Neither me either. However,
I'm sure Google will
a friend
tell
of
us.
a friend of mine who has a small air conditioner, he's like, yeah, mine's like 1,200 and it makes my room super cool. So 9,000 will manage a room, you know. So yeah. What time till the first drip from the beard? Oh no, that's terrible, Thurston. You know, slightly related before Caradog tells us about BTUs and kilowatts, but I think the days approach. It is a matter of time before I shave the beard.
You're missing uBlock.
Yeah, YouTube killed it. Not YouTube. Google was just like, we've removed this thing from your browser. I'm like, I'm giving up on just installing it again. So yeah, I just don't have uBlock now.
Yeah.
I need to install something else. But
yes,
yeah.
you need to just move.
Yes, that's why I haven't done anything about it. I'm just like, I need to actually move to Firefox.
I need to...
But yes, anyway, and as I was saying, yes, unironically, yeah, I don't know. I've turned that corner, and like it happens. Like for those of you who don't know, I did once have long hair down to the small of my back, and you know I was always just like, oh yeah, no, love my long hair, all the rest of it. But you know, any bloke who has done this where they've had their long hair phase, they will agree. Just at some point, the day came when they were like, you know what, I'm kind of done with the long hair. You know, it's been cool, but I think I'm ready. I don't know when, but I'm ready. And yeah, that's it. Like, I think I'm ready to shave the beard. I couldn't tell you why. I think I'm done with my beard phase. But the problem is, I'm just like, but it's such an iconic part of my look, you know. I see you have strong opinions on this matter.
They're forming. They're forming.
Fair enough. So is 9,000 BTUs a lot?
I've never seen you without.
No, you've never seen me without a beard.
No.
No.
I have seen.
You've probably seen it when I had it short.
Yeah, and
but
like
never
I've seen a
without.
childhood photo, but obviously your face is
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
But I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's actually going to kind of be a bit odd.
yeah. Manscaped sponsor. And I was actually, unironically, JD, I was thinking, like, would I do a thing about it? Like, would I do an April Fool's? Would I try and do a charity thing? And I'm like, actually, a Manscaped sponsorship would be quite a funny way to do it, because I'm just like, yeah, I'm getting paid to do this. Let's go, you know?
Right then, Gmail, search Manscaped.
Right. Use uBlock Lite. Well, uBlock Lite doesn't block YouTube ads, I don't think.
Don't know.
Yeah.
No idea.
Actually,
but it's also the case of you can literally just switch to Edge, and Edge hasn't blocked.
Yeah. Also, though, now I think about it, I might actually install uBlock Lite so I can actually get time with uBlock Lite and see if it's actually good or not. Because, because we all know that uBlock Lite isn't as capable as Origin. But yeah, can you stick uBlock Lite on there just so it starts getting installed on all of my stuff? And yeah, I'm actually just going to try that and just find out whether it's as good, you know. So yes. Oh no, Dobbin said put it in a plastic bag and raffle it. Sin, none of you are free of sin.
Good. I was just double checking it was still Raymond Hill.
Anyway, for the shop, you'd need like 18,000. I don't know if I'd probably try it in the shop just to see if it's any good. But I think it would mainly just be just for home, just so I can just be comfortable. Like, I don't know. I had a rough night's sleep last night, and like heat was not helping. It wasn't the only contributing factor, but it didn't help, you know. So yeah, Brave Browser has been the best thing that ever happened. I'm still just a bit ew about a lot of these third-party browsers. Like, you know, Opera GX is still garbage. Brave, I just don't know. But the problem is I'm speaking out of ignorance there. Brave makes me go ew, but I couldn't tell you why. It's just prejudice. I don't know why. Anyway, is 9,000 BTUs a lot?
No.
Okay. Again, though, if it's just like, just got to cool a room, it doesn't got to handle a house, you know. Sai says, no, Brave is a no, it's dodgy as hell and supports awful things. Please elaborate. Because just like, yeah.
Oh, that is...
Like, why is Brave crap?
Okay.
Like, what's the actual reasoning? Because I don't like saying something is crap. I despise people who say this is bad without elaborating. It's
Yeah,
like, okay, but why? It's not that I don't believe you, but why? Because I don't want to spread information without actually having stuff to back it up. So, yeah. What's the reason?
Yeah, I was going to say about 45,000 BTUs is the same as what I've got at home.
Yeah, for a big mini split, yeah. Fair enough. But then a mini split, that would take the room down to like super chilly, you know. But yeah.
Oh yeah, but just a case of just, yeah.
Oh, apparently, Brave, they were doing a honey before honey, and also CEO's a tosser and he donates to a lot of anti-LGBT groups. So yeah, that's a showstopper for me as well. If the CEO is a shitlord who donates to anti-LGBT groups, then that's an automatic deal breaker for me. So yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's enough for me. Yeah. If you have any sources for that, Sai, I'd be interested in if you could drop me a link or two in DMs, just so I can be like, cool, I've seen the source on this. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, yeah, well, I'm thinking about... I mean, for less than £200, you know, I might just try it out, see if it's any good. But, yeah, we'll see. Cool. Right, so, what are we doing today? So today we are building a new YouTube rig. So the YouTube rig is the workstation that I use daily. So I use it for just, well, the computer that I use daily, and also it records the videos. So last week we spec'd this machine up and I bought parts. So I've some of those parts I already had, the rest of them have arrived. There's a couple of bits in it that need to check that are going to get swapped around. The CPU I've got on hand here is a Ryzen 5 7400F. We did order a 7700, but that's coming from AliExpress, so it's not going to be here for probably another week or two. So I'm going to put this in it for now, and I'll swap out to a 7700 after the fact. But I can put this in here now and start using it. It's going to still be orders of magnitude faster than a 7700K. So yeah. Oh
no.
What?
Yeah, going from a 7700K.
Yeah.
It's like, I replaced you with a £90 processor.
Yeah. I don't think I'm particularly... It's really hard to tell if that PC is struggling or not. But, like, it's really hard to tell if the problems I've got are gremlins, which are just, you know, symptoms of a computer that just needs a rebuild and a clean install of Windows, or just the hardware starting to struggle with what I'm doing with it. Because, you know, a 7700K is like, it's got 32 gigs of RAM in it at the moment, and a GTX 1070. All it's doing is recording a bunch of webcams at 1080p. Like, that's not devastatingly high loads or anything like that. But I don't know, just at the same time, I also have a bunch of stuff open at this. I'm recording in OBS. I've got a bunch of stuff open at the same time. It's dual screening. I've got 3 browsers open at any given time, with 2 Discord clients, you know. It's just, I'm a heavy user. And I think at that point, that's the kind of time where it's just like, yeah, 7700K, that's going to start feeling long in the tooth.
And also, it doesn't officially support Windows 11.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah, like,
Just a case of, you know,
at
least officially.
7700K. That's 6-core 8-thread.
12.
Is it 12-thread?
Yeah.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
It only starts getting weird with 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Oh yeah, I thought the earlier chips, only some of the cores were hyper-threaded. But yeah, I guess I'm just going to look at that just so I can be like, yes, you're right.
It'll either be
it's 4 cores, 8 threads, because 4 times 2 is 8. Yeah.
Yes, because I was going to say it will either be.
Yeah. Oh, it's quad core. Yeah.
It will either be 2 cores, 4 threads.
Yeah.
4 cores, 8 threads, or it'll be 4 cores, 4 threads.
Yeah.
Depending on generation.
Oh yeah, I thought the i7 was 6 cores. Because the Coffee Lake was when they started adding more cores onto stuff, and I thought the i7 already had 6. But yeah, no, it's quad core 8 threads. So. And yeah, quad core, like, you know, and obviously this is early hyper-threading, so it's a bit sort of, you know, there is some stuff that it can do at the same time, but still 4 cores, which is totally viable for office use, but a heavy user is going to start battering a CPU like that. So yeah. All right. Stefan says 7700K is the last 14 plus. So yeah.
Was it?
I don't know. Anywho. Sleeple says, Graham, last week I asked you about Dell Latitude not seeing 32 gigs of RAM, but it was seen in you fresh installed Windows and then that fixed it. Yes, I felt like that was a software issue, but that kind of software issue can be really annoying to nail down. Yeah, I've seen it before and I've solved it before, but it was ages ago and I couldn't tell you how. So yeah. Cool. All right. Right, so what I'm going to do, I put all this stuff on the bench to start building a computer. However, also we're using the power supply from the old computer. So I might just take this off the bench and put the old YouTube rig up and pull the power supply out. Also, that's kind of neat because you guys can see what we're coming from as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm going, there. We were just saying about 14 plus. And I was saying, oh, the first Intel stuff that wasn't 14 nanometer class was Ice Lake laptop. When was Ice Lake laptop? Ice Lake laptop was 2019. And I was like, okay, what else was 2019? And I was like, was it the 9900? I was like, no, it'd have been the 10. It'd be 10th gen.
Oh, yeah. 10th gen was Rocket Lake?
That was 11th.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because 10th gen they moved to the new process node, and then 11th was building that same process node on new substrates per se. So yeah, or something like that. On laptop they went to 10 nanometer earlier. Fair enough. Yeah. Also, just following up on the Brave conversation, Muerto said he was having trouble with Brave rendering stuff, and just screwing around says, it's true the pages refresh after a long idle. What's the other downside? Yeah. Well, apparently the downsides are that the CEO's a shitlord, and yeah, that's fair enough. That's the kind of thing that I would not support. So, yeah. And yeah, it goes without saying, but yeah, if someone is anti-LGBT, then that's something that I would aggressively not support. And if anyone has opinions against that, you're not welcome here. Moving on. Be careful what you say, because yeah, you're not welcome here. Right, I'm going to shut this bad boy down and bring it over to the bench. Huh?
Sorry, whenever anyone describes anything like that, all I think of is the pot noodles. The Bombay Bad Boys.
I'm aware of that product and that it had an advert series. What?
Purely the existence of the name.
Yeah.
But that's all I think of whenever someone says that. I'm just like, haha.
I don't see the connection, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Wasn't 11th gen a literal waste of sand? Yesn't. So
it's
performance-wise, it was no better than 10th gen and performed worse than 10th gen in some areas, if my memory serves me. However,
depends on which parts you're comparing, but yeah, I know.
However, also it wasn't about performance. It was about the manufacturing process, and I forget the details. It was to do with the way that 11th gen was designed in such a way that Intel could build it. Intel could have like other foundries build it for them and things like that. It could be made. It was a template.
Other way around.
Oh, other way around. Oh, yeah.
It was about what's it? Intel developer. No, Intel Foundry something, and their PDK, and proving that they could generate. It was. There's a long tail and two things running side by side in the story. One of them was the fact they couldn't get 10th gen working. 10 nanometer working for desktop, so they had to backport a 10 nanometer design to 14 nanometer.
Yeah.
That backporting process was an important process for Foundry to learn, because Foundry needed to learn how to do that and make functioning chips for their PDKs, because they needed public-facing PDKs, because Intel Foundry was trying to go public.
Yes.
That's how it all ultimately spun out as still being potentially a positive for the company, even though the products in consumer space weren't particularly great. Yeah,
so it was... Yeah, if you want... a really good breakdown for this is, if you're super interested in this stuff, is Tech Potato did a video saying Rocket Lake is it's titled Rocket Lake is actually a success or something like that, and because that's Ian Cuttriss, he actually knows this stuff in intimate detail, and I have a very embarrassing story behind this video, but yeah, Ian Cuttriss of Tech Potato, he did a fantastic breakdown and actually explained why, the relevance behind this. It's interesting, and how, basically TLDR, Rocket Lake wasn't about a performance uplift, it was about the manufacturing process. However, as a consumer, we don't really care about the manufacturing process.
Oh shit, he's actually released
what,
some videos
what we
recently.
cared is that it was bad performance-wise. So, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it's titled Rocket Lake as a Success for Intel, and which was a very catchy title because this came out at the time when everyone was being like, Rocket Lake is crap and waste of sand, etc. And I saw that video from a channel that had like 5,000 subscribers and a very scrappy looking presenter who seemed to really know his stuff. And I was like, and somewhere in there I left a reply where I'm just like, wow, this is super informative, good luck with the channel and stuff like that. And then it was like 12 hours later that I looked back and was just like, wait a sec, that's Dr. Ian fucking Cuttress that I just spoke down to. Excuse me while I exit the universe, I am retrieving the YouTube rig.
He hasn't actually exited the universe. Just imagine leaving, like what could be seen as a sarcastic comment on someone's channel, just being like, good luck with the YouTube.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
And then they're like, where's your 5 million view video?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is he was then, a very nascent channel because he kind of only just started Tech Potato. And like, I mean, what Tech Potato looks like. It's not exactly a slick operation, which is part of the charm. That's not what it's about. He's not supposed to be topping YouTube subscriber counts. It's literally just his public-facing bit. He's an analyst. But still, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh my god. That bottom filter, man.
Oh, wow. No one cleans the bottom filter. Please. Oh god, just a load of it fell off when I removed it. Bench cam, if you will, Caradog.
I will not.
Mmm. Delicious. Good. Okay. Yeah. This is partly why I wanted to put it in a new case, because like we can blow all of this dust out, but like this is a workhorse. It's on all day, every day, So this is kind of a bit of a bonkers computer. It's a dual AIO system at the moment. We've got one all-in-one on the CPU, and we've got another all-in-one on the graphics card, because pimp, basically. I did it because it was cool. In fairness, this computer has been pretty solid as a rock. As you can see, it doesn't get a lot of love because it's a workhorse. This computer is not here to be loved or look fancy. It's here to do its job. It is with regret that I retire it. However, it is time for it to be retired. For the time being, though, I'm going to rob the capture cards. There's an Elgato in there and an Ava Media in there, and I'm stealing this power supply because it's a CS750M. It's fine. That'll do the job on the new build. So yeah. And everything else.
Is it new enough to take Type 3 cables?
I would imagine so.
Because if it is, then you've got a full set.
Yes, it's got Type 3 cables.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
I mean, I'm just going to use the cables that are already here.
Oh yeah, but it was just a case of if you needed more stuff.
We have more cable players.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that was more my thought. I was just like, oh god, is this old enough to be like a Type 2 or something?
Yeah.
And just be like, lol, I have no cables for this.
Yeah, no, it has the bare minimum cables on there, but we've got an 8-pin EPS and a pigtail PCI Express, so that's basically all you need. I think the only thing it's missing is SATA. However, also it does take Type 3, and I've got Type 3 SATAs coming out the wazoo.
If anybody needs one, send a postal order too.
But also then, as a side note though, there's no SATA going into this new build, so it's not even an issue.
Yeah.
Cool, right. I've got to take the power supply out of this, so let's have that. I'm also going to rob the... I'm also going to take the cool PCI blanking plates out of it as well. This will eventually get torn down, and I'll probably put all of the hardware into another case and sell it as a cheap gaming rig. But that's a job for another day.
Are you going to take the SSD out?
Yeah, I'll take the SSD out, but that's not going in the new one. I'm going to put just a brand new clean SSD in the new one, so we can do a clean install of Windows. Because I need to have access to everything on here, because like I haven't backed this up or anything. There's going to be stuff on there that I need, but also I don't want to do it. I don't want to put it in the new one because I don't want to transfer across gremlins. Because yeah, there are certain times where copying your home folder from an old build to a new one is just going to copy in years of trash. So yeah.
Download new folder. New folder 2.
Delicious. That hasn't been in there that long, so it's not actually very dusty.
Final version. Final version.
Oh, yeah, graphics card has got to come out to get to the SSD. Pain.
Graphics.
Is that a vertical M.2 slot? It is, yeah. There's a weird bracket that goes with it. There's a weird bracket that goes with it. I think I've got the box for this motherboard that will have that bracket in there. Yes, I do still have the box. It's in the back room.
The bracket? For the M.2, yeah.
Yeah. Air-cooled VRMs. Right. Why did I take this out? Oh, yeah, I needed to...
You need to take out the...
I'm doing it!
Everything.
Bert, you're shouting again, Bert.
Ah!
Right, what are you? You are a 1TB P3 Plus. Nice. Okay, that's nice that it actually that there is actually a half decent SSD there. Right, I'll just put that back on.
Get back in there.
Yeah. It's still super pimp, this dual AIO setup, though, I think. It's very... It's very needless, but it's still cool.
Go away, spam cooler.
Be gone.
Why
am I using a small screwdriver?
I've clearly set something up differently on this phone because the spam calls are not getting filtered in the way that they were getting filtered. So, yeah. Ooh. You're not spam. Yes, you are, Si. You are spicy meat.
Right, before
Are PCIe capture cards better than a USB one?
Pros and cons. So, they tend to be lower latency. So if you're doing latency sensitive stuff, then you get lower latency. And if you're using them for gaming, then that's going to be a thing. Like, for example, if you're streaming on Twitch, if you're streaming on Twitch, a large amount of latency means that you're going to be seeing it in real time on your preview screen, but your audience might be seeing let's say half a second, just to be ridiculous, half a second behind, which might mean that you react to something happening before it happens on the stream, which would be super jank. And also you can run into issues with audio sync issues and stuff like that. Now, in reality, it's not that bad, but it's enough to be annoying. Modern USB capture cards are pretty good, and I think they've largely solved this problem. But also, I just generally find PCI Express capture cards to be more responsive. They initialize and start up faster. So when you hit activate to start them, you get a response out of them faster. There's not a delay while it goes, hold on. okay, here's a picture kind of thing. You know, they're just more responsive. And in addition to that, there's less cable clutter because you know, there's no box and USB thing. There's just HDMI in and or out. So yeah, that's why I use the PCI Express ones. I still have we still have the USB ones kicking around though. You know, it's horses for courses basically. I need to get a prying tool to get this cable out. There's nothing to grab hold of for this EPS connector. This is nightmarish. Who built this wretched computer?
I think you'll find it was you.
It's fake news.
You got another leak?
No, there's leaks all across there. That's probably old stuff though.
So I was like, how the hell is it leaking in this weather?
Yeah,
What's going on up there?
Come on. Come on. No one wants to watch me fumble with a connector for half an hour.
I just talk Norwegian to the Indian tech support scammers. They haven't called back in years. Pretty sure we watched you build that mess.
Pliers. I need something just to grab hold of the wire and yank it up while I hold the
I see.
thing open. Yeah, there's no way I can actually show anyone what's happening at the moment.
It was also just a fact I wasn't sure if we were on bench cam or just on face cam or...
Oh, I'm going to mangle the wire doing that. Oh, come on. Am I just going to have to bite the bullet and take the rad out? I really don't want to. Oh, I think I got it.
It's coming, it's coming.
Yep.
Oh no, it's only 4 of the wires.
Don't even say that. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is actually just thread that out from the other end and then I can pull it out. Right, okay, let's go to face cam because I'm going to go upright.
Do you have opinions on the future of Xbox?
Not particularly.
Have you ever owned a console when it was current?
No, I've never owned a current gen console. Because I'm, you know, I have always held the belief that PC gaming is just straight superior, and if you have a PC, there's basically no reason to own if you have a gaming PC, there's no reason to own a console unless there are some exclusives that you really, really want to play. And even then, you know, I kind of, yeah, and there's no exclusives that I care about enough to have a separate console. Oh, that doesn't come out at the other end. That's unfortunate. Okay. Heck. Okay, I'm just going to have to sit and struggle with this for a minute. I've nearly got it out, though.
One day, Graham will upgrade to a new Xbox 360.
Well, I've just got a new PlayStation 4, you know, and that seems pretty good. They should make another one of those.
What, another PlayStation 4?
Yeah, or a sequel or something.
What, the Slim?
Maybe. Although I've got to actually start doing something with that PS4.
Like what?
Well,
what
first,
are you going to do with it?
I'm going to play Bloodborne on it.
Why?
Because, I don't know, I want to play it on bare metal. But then, actually...
I mean, the valid answer would be because I want to play Bloodborne.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you were implying...
I meant, why do you want to play Bloodborne?
Oh,
because I don't know anything about your interest in it.
Because it's a FromSoft game that
Is
I
it?
haven't played.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't realise.
FromSoft, yeah, Bloodborne is a FromSoft game, so it is a Dark... it is a Soul...
I knew it was...
Yeah, it is a Dark
that
Souls
kind of
game.
Style, but
Yeah.
I didn't know it was...
Yeah, it's why they're fundamentally
familiarly
called
related.
Soulsborne games, because all of FromSoft games, all the relevant... Well, up until Elden Ring, they were all Dark Souls and Bloodborne kind of thing. And obviously, because Bloodborne is such a significant entry in their catalogue, yeah, it gained apart. Right, I've got the connector out. Now I've just got to try and thread it out. Right, no. I clearly had this plugged in before I put the radiator in. And I don't think there's physically room to get this thing out. I've got to loosen the rad. Okay.
Are you just going to airline it first?
I think I will, because the dust is just falling off of this thing. All right, I will be right back, everyone. I'm sorry.
You will be.
I didn't think I had to do this much work with the old system. I was just going to pull the power supply and then put it to one side.
Now we mute him. Now we have no idea what he's saying. Don't forget your favourite, Sekiro. It's true. Yes. Wash it down with the garden hose. I guess that works. Just, you know, don't use it again for a while. You left the filter, useless man. In 30 years, this will be called Two Guys Just Moan. Grumpy Old Men sequel. You don't have to be old to be grumpy. You can just be grumpy. There you go. What do you mean it's already that? We're not old. How dare you say? Are you less dusty?
Slightly. Okay, so have you ever seen in a film or anime where they have like a shot of a grassy field and the wind blows and you see like the waves going through the field, right?
Okay.
I took it outside, put it on the wall, and the dust on the front grille was doing that in the wind. You could see the waves go in the sheet of dust on the front. All right. Let's drop the rad. I literally just need this to come out slightly so I can get this EPS cable out. Squeak. There we go. All right.
You've also gained the USB cable.
Yeah, that's the Corsair AIO one. Right, can I get just a screw into this just so it is held in? Oh, good luck with that. No, I'm not doing that now.
This is future Graham's problem.
Yes. Well, future Graham when he actually tears this thing apart properly. Oh, we have got SATA on this. I'll pull it all out. Right. Whoop. Right.
You're still cable tied.
Yeah. Just going to lay it down just because a couple of those are going to need snipping. Boop. One day I will actually cut through a wire when doing that. One fear.
Oh no!
Oh. Put that through there. Okay, right. I think that power supply will actually come out now.
JD's been spending more money.
Is he buying Intel CPUs?
Yes. Buying Intel CPUs and motherboards.
I see.
He is the only person keeping Intel and Asus in business.
Right.
Oh no! Cut through the cables on your Commander Pro.
Oh, that's expensive. Big pain. Come on. All right. One power supply. I'm just going to take this out the back and just give it a quick blast as well, just so it's not
going to take
nuclear.
This
out back and shoot it.
Shoot it.
Ah. I stood in front of the back door and went like that, and just as I started there was a gust of wind that just blew through the back door, so it just went straight onto me, and I'm like, okay. Right. That can go over here. And I need this PCI Express cable.
Try now, extract with side cutters.
Alright, everything else can stay in that. Good. Terrible. Did I get the worst of the dust out of that? Yeah, that's alright. Bottom filter's actually pulling their weight.
You think smokers' lungs are bad?
Oh, dead skin. Right.
Side cutters.
See, Sai gets to make loads of funny puns with his name. All of
Does
the
he?
puns on my name are just, adamant. And it's just like, I mean, they're not great puns, but at least it's not just obscure music references or adamant. Which I should watch, because apparently it was actually rather good.
Did you? Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, I forgot to.
Oh, okay.
I put it on my watch later, planning to watch it like after work or something.
Your
and then
watch
forgot.
later that contains 13,709 videos.
No, I go through my watch later now and then. I open that up when I go to YouTube and I just look through my subscriptions page, and then if I don't see anything that if I don't see anything there, I'm just like, oh, let's see what's on watch later, you know. So, okay. I'm going to take the back cover off this. So this is one of the AWD-IT Corsair 4000Ds. I bought two of these. They are B stock. This one, one of them was basically as new condition. This one definitely has been messed with a bit. It has... it's missing some bits. It looks like someone has built in this and then changed their mind or something like that. Because, yeah, there are plenty of signs that it has been built in. And also, like, weirdly, I don't know how they managed it, but the glass side panel, which has the peel removed already, has the wrong thumb screws in it. It just has some generic thumb screws that aren't long enough, so the side panel doesn't actually screw on, which meant when it arrived in the box, the side panel had been loose and rubbing against the chassis somewhere, which had caused some, and that had caused some damage to the white backing just at the top and stuff like that. So very, very minor damage across the case. You know, I could still build a customer rig in this and be comfortable in selling it. However, yeah, just an interest thing. Yeah, it was visibly B stock, but completely serviceable. So yes. Sai says, fixed your black one that you got for free, so now you got three. Fair enough. Yeah. Yes. This one is also missing the accessory kit, so I don't have any of the screws or anything like that. And also, if the... I'm assuming that they come with the panel that goes here, which you guys can just about see on screen. I'm going to lift the table up slightly, just... oh, no, actually, we're going to go to bench cam anyway. Yeah, the panel that goes at the bottom here, I'm assuming they come with that because... Oh, they don't come with it.
No, not, because this is the 3000.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, and the 3000 doesn't come with it.
Whack.
It also doesn't come with grommets for the cable holes.
Yeah, I'm not super fussed about that. That's just cost saving. But yeah, it's just puts a weird hole in the front, kind of. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, just an observation. Just in case people were curious as to what the B stock looks like, you know.
Yeah, most of the bits that are missing are Corsair cutting them out, not because it's B stock.
Yeah, that's true. Either way, it doesn't have the accessory kit, and it's got the wrong thumb screws on the side panel. So that's a bit that needs. Sorry, everyone. There we go. That's a bit that is wrong about it, which isn't a problem for me, but yeah. The case is your primary source of screws when building a new PC. Right, we've got an RGB splitter. I think these are supposed to come with a fan splitter, which it's missing, which won't be a problem because I can find 3 fans. Also, is it supposed to come with a rear fan? Because I've got.
It seems to have come with an extra.
Yeah, because I've got 3 RGB fans at the front. I've got 1 in the rear, so I don't know if someone's put that in and forgotten about it. Is it any good? It's a 3-pinner. Oh, it definitely isn't supposed to come with the case because this is a 3-pinner that's had a Molex connector lopped off of it. There's cut wires on that. I might just take that fan out and just run it triple intake positive air pressure. Because if it's a 3-pin fan that's had a Molex connector lopped off of it, it's just going to be a cheap fan. So yeah, I might just take that out, just for tidiness. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a big screwdriver and take that out. A triple intake will easily provide enough airflow for this case. So
yeah. Goes out back and paints it. It is now a white fan.
I mean, I've got a rattle can of white paint, so we could do it.
Just do it with your cheapest, nastiest case fans. We've got to apply it evenly, or otherwise the fan will become unbalanced.
Oh wow, that's proper tat. It is a new fan; it's never been used, but yeah, this is just DC brushless fan.
Excellent. At least it's DC and at least it's brushless.
Yeah, allegedly brushless.
Well, there's no brush.
It's true.
It will do nothing for my hair.
Cool. Let's start building. So, there's always that moment when you start on a PC where you're just like, where do I start? Right, build up the motherboard. Okay. Let us.
GPU do?
Oh yeah, GPU. I've got a. I'm going to put the 3060 that I've got in it. Is this a? Was it a 3060?
It kind of looks like it's got a 3D printed fan shard.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, this is a cheap 30. Well, this is not a cheap 3060. This is a 3060 12 gig that I paid too much for. It was going to be used in another computer, but that got swapped for a 6600 XT. Sorry, a 6700 XT at the last moment. So this graphics card came free again. I do still need a cheap graphics card for another build, but I'm going to put this one in here anyway. Because the 1070, I don't really want... That dual AIO setup is cool, but also it's not really practical. And for this new build, I just want to go simple air-cooled, you know, no faff, no pimp, just as simple as possible. And also it gets me onto a 2 generations newer NVENC encoder, which is important because obviously NVENC encoding is the one thing that this PC is doing a lot of. So yeah. I don't particularly care about AV1 encoding because my editing pipeline is archaic and I edit in H.264 anyway. So yeah. Although I guess I could record in AV1 just to bring down the file sizes of the source footage, but I don't think there's any benefit to that, to be honest.
No. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to take out all of that. Okay, right. Well, let's go bench cam.
I'll wait for you to move it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's go bench cam. It's the floor.
Shush.
Ah, it's my moustache.
Yes.
I moustache you a question.
Ah. Box close. There we go.
Away.
Right, I'm just aligned. Right, the box is perfectly aligned.
The camera is also skipping.
Yeah, that skipping issue, I don't think it's the computer that's been causing that.
Oh look, your hands magically appeared.
Yeah. This is the problem that we've got in recording, and it's not the PC because it does it on this one as well.
It's the camera.
Yeah. Do you want to straighten it?
I did to the grain. Because that's what we did last time. What? Huh.
Yes.
Ah.
Another 2 clicks. Okay, actually, that's fine. The 1 click. There we go. Okay, now it's straight. Good. Yeah, I need to try a different cable again. I'm sure I tried a different cable and that didn't solve the problem, but I need to double check again. And then, like, maybe just try redoing the firmware on the cameras or something like that. So, yeah. But it's also just super laggy, you know. Like, you can see from the difference between the face cam in the top right of the screen and the bench cam, you can see the bench cam is lagging. Like, it's practically half a second behind. So, yeah. But yes, anyway. Yeah, I need to find out what the deal with that is because it's bothersome and it's bothering me. But these kinds of problems are really time consuming to solve. But let's carry on building. Right. Let open. Check cam settings in OBS. There's one that can cause it. Which one? Like, I'm assuming there's not going to be a setting in there called add lag. So, yeah. Cam firmware update. That's what I just said. However, I'm not solving it live. Like, we'll do this once we've got this built up. We need to actually install Windows on it and set it up. So we're going to set up OBS and stuff like that. That's when we'll actually start fiddling with this. So yeah, for the time being, like, yeah, it's a little bit jumpy, but you guys can see what's going on. So yeah. Okay, right, some RAM. The jazz hand setting. Oh my days. I'm trying to find the okay, I got it open.
How do I open this plastic box?
This motherboard is actually kind of threadbare. It was cheap though. It's fine, but just looking at it, it's just like, oh yeah, you can start seeing where they've cut corners, you know. We've got two M.2s, but like there's almost nothing else. The bare essentials are here. And like, you know, there's only... Oh no, we do have... There's the USB front headers. Yeah, I'm starting to see the bits. And yeah, we have got front 3.0 and Type-C. Yeah, the important stuff is there. For a minute, I was looking at it being like, wow, there's nothing on this board at all. But yeah, the important stuff is there. Still slightly sad about missing out on that Intel board that we were looking at.
Yeah.
Because that would have been super nice. But yeah. This does the job though. Okay, right. I think I've got a... No, I don't. I'm going to go and grab a SSD.
I'm going to use this laptop sodium.
Here is a Kioxia. This'll do. Exeria? How would you pronounce that? Exeria? Exeria Plus is what I'm going with.
Yes.
It's a cheap Kioxia.
I would pronounce that as G3.
I would pronounce that as a cheap Kioxia. Oh my god, why are these labels so tough?
What's that? That's a Kioxia.
I mean, that would be plausible. However, everyone says Kioxia, so that's what I'm going with.
Ah, this is my Kiosha.
You'd shake the foundations of the IT tech YouTuber space by saying, actually, it's Kioxia.
It's Kochia. It's like
Coachella.
it's like one of those shells you can find.
Concern. Ah.
I'm passing you the shell.
Oh, never forget how bad. Which one was it again? Jason. It was Born Identity, Born Supremacy, Born Ultimatum, and then the crap one that was just called Jason Bourne, wasn't it? I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Born again. Born yesterday.
That was one of those, like, it's not very often where I walk out of a movie and I think, that was crap. But that was one of those times where I've walked out of a movie and just been like, that was crap, you know? Toshiba 2.0. I'd be surprised if any of the original Toshiba guys are there. But, yeah. Right. Bourne's End. I think it was the end of the franchise, that's for sure. I think the one that came after that didn't even have Matt Damon in it.
That one didn't have Matt Damon in it.
Didn't it?
No.
Oh.
Didn't it?
No, that was the last one.
What was the one we saw the last one with?
That was the last one with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon!
Matt Damon. I think after...
Don't believe him. He's acting.
Yeah. After Matt Damon left, everyone was just like, what? Why would you even go and see that? Even Matt Damon has decided that these are crap and isn't going to do any more. Jeremy Renner was in oh yeah, Bourne Legacy was another one. Yeah, different character in the same universe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that was possible because it was
a Bourne Legacy.
Yeah, because it was a different character. But yeah.
There was never just one.
Well, no, there wasn't just one. That was kind of a thing. But yeah.
I don't even know what I don't even remember what the story was for the Jason Bourne films.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
as far as I'm aware, the story for the first film was there's a dude, and the dude's got to get to a place. Well, so he's got to do a thing.
So the first one, the first one, Bourne Identity, was that Jason Bourne wakes up in the ocean, having lost his memories, and needs to figure out who he is, and basically figures out that he is a sleeper agent. And obviously, because he's now AWOL, his handlers need him to be dead because he is a super Black Ops sleeper agent. So everyone is coming to kill him, and somehow he knows how to kill everyone. And he's just like, wow, this is kind of scary. I don't know how I know this. So in order to avoid dying, he kills all of his handlers. That's the story. And it works, you know. It's him figuring it out and suddenly being like, oh my god, I know Kung Fu, you know. Except it's not Kung Fu. But it's...
Oh my god, that'd be amazing!
But it's different to The Matrix in a sense of, like, because it's not Kung Fu, the fighting is the fight. This is why it was so good, because everything was highly... obviously, it's choreographed, but the fight scenes are not just martial arts. It's improvised, frantic, I'm going to die if I don't stab this man with the biro fights, you know. So they're just
pencil.
It's brutal. It's like, this man is going to kill me. I need to pick up the nearest blunt object and hit him in the head with it. Yeah. Otherwise, he's going to kill me. Yeah. You know, so that makes a very visceral kind of fight, you know. So that's what made the Bourne films very unique, is that it wasn't fancy choreographed martial arts, you know. But then both the subsequent films were basically the same story, which was he had got out, he had escaped, and escaped with his girlfriend, but they still carried on coming after him. And so he was just like, okay, you came after me again, guess I'll kill a whole bunch more of you again until you get the picture. And they did that for another 2 movies. And the second one was fine because it was revenge, because they kill his girlfriend at the start of the movie. So at that point, it's a revenge movie. He's like, you could have left me alone, and that would have been the last you'd ever hear of me. But you couldn't leave me alone. Now we're doing this again. Get some rest, Pam. You look tired. Cracking line, yeah. It really is a cracking line, yeah.
See, I'm just imagining now.
The third film was basically the same thing again, and it's like, okay, now you've run your course because you're doing the same thing again. Yeah. Carry on.
Sorry, I was just thinking with that, it entirely also just feels like that line could have come from Archer with the character there. And it's just Pam after a 36-hour Coke binge.
How many seasons of Archer is there? Do you know?
I would
Is there a lot?
guess it's 6.
Okay, yeah, quite a lot then, yeah. Because I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes of Archer, and I hear it's very good, but I've never... I'm just like, should I watch Archer? You know. Right, cool. Fitting a CPU cooler.
Oh, yes. And they had to immediately change the name of their organisation. Because they start season 1 talking about how they're members of ISIS.
Oh, yeah. Was that not deliberate then, before ISIS got big? Because I assumed that was deliberate.
No, because they never reference it and then immediately never call themselves that again.
Interesting. Maybe that was going to be a joke, but at some point the networks were like, no, you cannot make this joke. We understand you have already started producing this movie, but no, orders from the top, you cannot make that joke. So yeah, before ISIS got big like they were a band or something. Look, you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, their comeback tour. Oh my god, there are 14 seasons.
14 Yeah, no, I can't be asked to watch that. Yeah, no, sorry.
You should absolutely just watch all of season 1.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch the first 1 or 2 seasons, yeah. But like, I don't want to binge 14 seasons of something, man.
I mean, they're also like 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, I guess. How many episodes per season?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I've clicked off that page now.
Because like,
you were too slow.
Yeah, some people define a season as like 6 episodes.
No, it's not BBC season length.
Yeah.
It's like 10.
Oh, that's not devastating. That's not a 24 episode season.
13. Yeah. 13.
Yeah. Maybe watch some of it until I get bored or something like that, you know.
13, yeah.
Which is kind of what I did when, like, ages back when I watched Bob's Burgers. You know, I watched a bunch of that, enjoyed it, but after a while I just stopped watching, you know.
Why is your thermal paste blue?
It's kind of grey, but also TF4 was the crap stuff, right? Which just I could probably just lift that off. Oh well. It's not. It's only going to be on there until the new CPU shows up anyway. Whoop.
What did you say you have? Was this a 7500
This is
or
7400. Yeah.
Okay. What did they do to potato the 7400?
I don't know. I assume it's just again slightly slower clocks or something like that.
Did they? Never mind. Let's not make that joke.
No contact frame. It's a 7400F with an air cooler on it. You know, like if you're building a 9800X3D and you're gonna overclock the balls off of it, we can start talking about contact frames. But yeah.
I completely misread it and thought someone
cut some more boost off, yeah.
And had written it had 6 cores and 1.2 threads.
Yeah. It's still 4.7 boost apparently.
Interesting.
You know, like, that's fine. Like, it doesn't hit the magic 5 gigahertz, but that's fine. What's the cache on it though? Because that's where they get you.
32 megabytes.
That's fine. That's nothing to write home about, but that's fine.
Which I think is the correct amount.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you're going to see much more than 32 unless you're running an X3D chip.
Oh, it's not soldered. Ha! Whack.
Oh, it's paste not soldered. Oh, interesting, yeah. But then also it's
Whack.
like 65 watts, so who cares?
Actually, it's 88 watts. Because that's what its PPT is. And PPT is important because it's power performance tracking.
I see. It's closer to the actual power limits of the chip, yeah.
Yeah, PPT is functionally.
Perpeter.
Yeah. It's actual power usage.
Fair enough, yeah. So it's actually a useful metric then rather than an estimate, yeah.
Yeah, because PPT watts are real watts, as opposed to TDP watts being watts that aren't actually
Completely
generated from
arbitrary
a unit.
number, yeah.
Yeah. What PSU brand do you recommend? Any of them, basically.
Yeah, look around and see what's good value. Like, I still tend to err toward Corsair just because I still believe that you can't really go wrong with a Corsair, and the pricing on them is fine. They're fine, you know. They're not insanely cheap, but they're fine. You know, if you buy a Corsair power supply, you'll be fine, you know. So yeah, it is not the wrong fan side because we are blowing that way toward the back of the case, and we've got that fan blowing that way, and we've got this fan is a reverse blade fan, which will also be blowing that way. However, I have got this. Normally, I think most people would probably be building the other way around, so yeah. Right.
What is
It's going to go that way. Okay.
currently also, because you're going to bitch and moan, I'm going to sort it out.
Am I?
Yes.
What am I going to bitch and moan about?
I'm not even going to tell you because you'll just do
Oh,
it.
Conspire, yeah. Yeah. Well, do we have a login for their website now?
Email address.
Oh, you're going to try and recover my account or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also just
Understandable.
I'm also just going to steal your emails and your LastPass.
Sure.
I will become you.
Fine.
I have stolen your identity.
Yeah.
Oh no. My credit score. What just ka-chunked?
Be careful what you wish for. That was the shop phone going, you've got new mail.
Okay. That wasn't the shop phone going, ah!
No.
Someone's signing in! I honestly thought that for a second that was the tongue out, red face, sweat emoji. And I was like, how was your AWD experience? Were you turned on by it? I was like,
Please don't use emoji in your subject lines, people. We are not 12.
activate your account. Activate. Enter the keyword that was included in your email. Oh. The activation keyword is... Oh, I thought the activation keyword was keyword.
The safe word is banana.
The safe word is safe word.
Right.
Google, fuck off.
Oh, is Google trying to save things? Yeah.
Google is trying to password manager on top of the password manager.
No.
So it's password managing my password
Yeah.
manager whilst I password manager.
Yeah, I need to turn it off. At one point, I left it turned on because at one point I wanted to transition to using Google as the password manager. But then I realised that I didn't want to do that because it was putting more eggs into the Google basket. So as you can see, I put a couple on there and then just stopped. So yeah. Cool. All right.
You've had to go through and decline like every single website ever.
Oh God, does it track declines?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. No, that's just, there's no option of just, yeah, that's just me being like, no, go away, Google.
Yeah, which is why I've just turned off the offer.
Yeah. Oh, I'm tempted to say delete all Google Password Manager data as well.
Are you certain?
I was going to say, that's a bit of a spicy move to make, though.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
But also, we've just looked and seen that there
I'm
was
going to do that.
Oh, download
and
file.
then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Grand.
I'm going to save it first.
In before that just nukes my Google Wallet stuff as well, or something like that.
It's okay. It means you can't buy stuff on credit cards you don't look at the bills for.
Outstanding. Cool. Right. Good. I don't think there's anything else to go on that motherboard. I think we're ready to actually put stuff in.
Confirm
I'm going to do
username.
I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping with all of my packaging.
At adamant.co.uk.
A damn tit.
I think it's that one. We'll find out in a second. 2 info. Yes, excellent. Your password has been updated. See, now you have no excuses. None.
Well, now
Zero.
I can log on. Whoops! What was that? Oh, the fan. Yeah, I can log on to the website and actually see some hecking prices. Do you think they'd shout at us if we showed prices on stream?
Depends.
Yeah.
I'll get Si to ask.
Yeah, because just like, don't be bitches about it. You know.
Okay.
I don't have time for people being cagey. I don't care. I just want.
Oh.
If you give me good prices, I'll buy it. Lenovo V15.
Yeah, but it's got a i3 1215U in it.
Yeah, not bad. How much?
And wait, where's the price gone?
Say it isn't. Oh, we're not logged in. We're not logged in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I was about
No,
to be like.
that's fine. But it was just a fact of I had a price. I saw the price.
Yeah.
I clicked through the thing, and then we weren't signed in. I was like, what?
If that had said call for pricing, I would have been like, see, fucking see.
Yeah, there you go.
What's the price? Yeah. Okay, that's an XVAT. Yeah. Still, yeah. Once you add on price, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I don't know how much I care for a Lenovo V15. But then on the other hand, like...
Oh, it's got your old address.
Yeah. No, I haven't used this for a long time. But then on the other hand, like, it's no worse than a Dell Inspiron, so... Yeah. Yeah. You can set it to show price including VAT. Yes, that would be
that's
hand.
what I'm just about to do. You are...
It's just to stop them being on Google. Fine. I still don't quite understand that, but sure. Good, right.
Click here to update information. Ah, there you
go. Okay, right. I've built a motherboard up. Focus. Stay focused. Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Go away, stupid little fly thing. Be gone. Right. Let's move that and get the chassis. Is this a stable platform? It is. Good. I was building a pile of things and being like, I don't know what's supporting this pile.
Apparently you have a £1 credit.
Outstanding.
Pricing, including that. There we go.
Are we still on bench cam?
We are...
Yeah, that's fine.
On bench cam.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and yeah, I'm still on shot, which is good.
There we go.
A damn fly.
There we go.
I need to plug
Power
that in.
supplies.
And...
in stock only. That is £43 in stock.
Oh yeah, for a CX550. Yeah, that's fine. That's a great build of power supply.
Amazon.
Yeah, that's I bet that's 55 on Amazon is my guess.
50.
Oh, 50, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, still it's a bit cheaper. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's legit. It is a bit cheaper, and again, if they've got the other stuff, so like I would actually build up a basket there.
650
Yeah.
is 46.
They had good prices on, like we saw they had decentish prices on like Corsair cases and stuff like that, didn't we? Yeah. I think I was a little bit disappointed by the lack of selection on motherboards, but there was probably something there that would have been okay.
Yeah, interesting. For the 650, they're only like £1 cheaper, but still.
Yeah. Also, though, I have to admit, the knowledge that they do free next day delivery does tip the needle for me now.
Yeah.
Because the problem would have been is just like all this little £1 and £2 that you save on all the products, you immediately lose that when you pay £12 for next day delivery.
Yeah, it's a £5 for next day delivery.
£5?
Unless you're at a £500 cart.
Oh yeah, £500 cart. Yeah, that's fine.
A £500 cart is a PC build.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If they have everything.
Yeah. We shall see.
Processors. Intel. Cheapest first. 12100. Wait, what? A 12100F for £54. Oh.
Neat.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
Actually.
You're building cheap office boxes, and well, I mean, even if you're trying to build a cheap ass gaming rig.
Yeah.
If you can find a motherboard. Oh no, it's 12th gen, so you can put that in modern motherboards, can't you? Intel processor. Oh my god.
Would you like to buy the Intel processor 300?
46 watts dual core. It's £83. What is this? Show that to the people while I put this power supply in. We need to find out what this is. I want to know what that is. I'm curious.
Huh. Nope, that's capture. That's not. Hold on. Browser. There we
and
go.
then you got a Windows select, yeah.
Edge. Chrome.
Yeah. Intel processor 300. Dual core. It's dual wielding its cores. What is that? Yeah, actually, is that on Intel Arc or anything? 6 megabytes of cache. I could write things down on a notepad faster than that.
But yes.
Yeah, it's also
turbo speed dash.
Yeah, it's also the fact that it's £85. I'm just like, what is that? What is the story behind that product?
Why do you exist?
Yeah, why do you exist? And also just the fact that it's just called Intel Processor 300. It's not even a Pentium or a Celeron. Yeah. Is that an Atom CPU? I mean, it'll probably be an SoC.
Products formerly Raptor Lake.
Yeah. Intel processor for desktop. Yeah. That's just kind of wild that it doesn't qualify for any of the actual brandings.
Hey, it has 4 threads.
Has no efficient cores. That's generous calling the performance cores P cores, you know?
Hey, it can address up to 192 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, it's LGA 1700 Atom based. Yeah, it is, I guess it is just basically an Atom on an LGA 1700 thing. Yeah.
Oh my god, it has PCI Express 5.
Yeah. This must just be for wacky integrated systems or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately
Intel Gaussian and Neural Accelerator 3.
I'm sure there's a reason for this to exist. I'm curious as to what it is, genuinely. That can go up there.
Huh. I see.
Tech. Right, that can go up there.
Oh.
Go up there. That's going. Where's my 3.0? 3.0 is at the bottom. That's going down the bottom. That's going down the bottom. Does this not have Type C? Oh, boo. Okay, not the end of the world. No front Type C on this case, but it is a cheap case, so yeah. What do you want? And that I will just stuff back into the front, and I will sort that out in a minute. All right. Okay, we could probably go back to Benchcam now.
You can have a £50 ASRock H610M HVS-M.2 to go with your £40 processor.
Yeah, CPU and motherboard for less than £100. That's pretty compelling. Yeah.
You would have to use a graphics card because it's an UF.
Yeah. Si says a retail price this case is quite bad. Yeah, I agree because like
Isn't its retail price like 90 quid or something?
something like that. At the very least, for probably for the same price or for £10 more, you could get the 4000.
Yeah.
Which is, and the 4000 then has all of the bells and whistles. So it's just like, I don't know why you wouldn't buy the 4000. Like for the 40 quid that we paid for these Kates, or 45 or whatever. Absolutely, this is great for the price we paid because it's actually got nice fans and a nice brand name on it. But yeah, if I was paying retail, no, you would get the 4000 without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to do bench cam again? Oh yeah, we are.
Bench cam.
I didn't know you had. I was just making sure because
Because we're really bad at that.
you're really bad at that.
Yeah, that too.
You've been on record being like, chat doesn't matter. We don't need to read chat.
Exactly. They're not important.
Wasn't it even more expensive in black? Yes.
The black was more expensive because there weren't any B grade ones.
Yeah, I think that's just because of B grade stuff. Yeah. However, I have, sometimes, colour can have an impact on price, but normally the white one is a bit more expensive. Normally you expect to pay the white tax.
I presume.
Been on bench cam this whole time. Oh, fair enough.
I swapped after I did the show
Oh
and
yeah,
tell
but
on
you
the
did.
processor.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, sorry.
Because then I went and looked at your emails by accident. And
Oh,
then went,
I see.
oh no! And I was like, oh yeah, but we're on bench cam, so it's fine. No one saw this.
Yes, good. You either close my emails or
I
move them to
have.
another window. Yes, good. Because obviously I've made that mistake in recent history on the stream, and I'm like, no. No matter how good
God,
you think
it's
you
also
are.
frame tearing. Your camera is not okay. The actual frame is tearing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But yeah,
I'm hoping that when we install Windows and OBS afresh on this, we plug the camera in and it just works.
I don't think it's going to. I think there's something up with the camera because it's doing it on this computer as well, but we'll see.
Yeah. Have I done Evolve in Grum's name? I have.
Is that overclocking thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that going somewhere?
I don't know.
SE.
Have you checked your emails?
No.
Exactly. We do not know.
I need to put in some more standoffs.
Why is...
Oh no, I don't have standoffs because I don't have the accessory kit. Weak. Okay. Oh, actually I don't. I just need to move those ones. That's fine. I'm not missing standoffs. They're just in the wrong place because someone was using a micro board.
Would you like to gain citizenship through a partnership on your YouTube channel? I'm already a citizen, damn it!
Oh, there are some spicy things we could say for that, but let's just not go anywhere near that.
Oh!
Yeah, I've had a lot of wacky offers in my inbox. I think it was yesterday. I just had a quick look at some of my notifications. I was looking at my email from my notifications, and was just looking through a lot, and there were just offers for this, that, and the other. And I was just like, no. I don't even know what you're selling, and it's very annoying. Where a lot of the time I get offers from people saying, we're a PR brand, and we're wondering if you're looking to collaborate, and I'm like, collaborate on what?
Stop. Collaborate and listen.
Yeah, and it's just like they say, oh, we work with various people like this. I'm just like, cool. Do any of them have offers for me?
Wait, what?
What are you looking at?
I was just like, wait, they make 4K touchscreen portable screens now? And now I was just like, oh, it's £1,000. Okay, I understand now. But yes. I do enjoy the monitors. Would you like a £46.80 monitor?
Not if it's unbranded. Like we've been burned.
It's branded.
Dahua. That's the brand, not me going the what.
How about instead an ASRock Challenger 1080p 120 Hz screen for £66.43?
Yeah, those are the ones that Si bought a bunch of, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Yep, I'm hoping they'd be good. We'll find out.
Frameless, I care.
Yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical about cheap monitors unless they have like a sure thing brand like, say, LG. Just because like we've bought a couple of cheap monitors and like we've bought some cheap good ones, but also you've bought a couple of suspiciously cheap no-name brand ones before because we were just like, is it real? And it was real, but like it had dead pixels on it. And we were like, what? This is 2025. Why are dead pixels still a thing? You know?
Yeah. But it's also a case of just, I can't see how people can defend not having 120 Hz monitors.
I mean, there's a bunch of
days.
100 Hz ones around. But, yeah.
Because it's like, here's a 60 Hz monitor for £100. Okay, but here's a 120 Hz one for 70.
Yeah. At this point, I see no reason to buy 60 Hz monitors. Yeah.
Hellcrack, a name you can trust.
God. The fucking Hellcrack case. Yeah, look, for context, I bought a cheap case for another system at some point, and the brand was Hellcrack, and I was like, fine, the brand is whatever, it doesn't matter. But when it arrived, it had a physical plastic badge on the front saying Hellcrack, and I'm like, I cannot sell a PC that says Hellcrack on the front. So I was like, fine, I'm going to pry this shit off. And so I pried the badge off, but there was a hole in the front of the case with a little plastic pin that the badge goes through. So I removed the badge, and now there was a hole in the front. So I had to like get like an i7 badge and just put it over the hole.
The MSI Shield badge on
that's right. I had just randomly had an MSI Shield badge, and I put that on it instead. Not because it had any MSI products in, but I was like, I cannot sell a PC that says Hellcrack on the front. Okay, I'm going to use this packet of nice metric screws.
How do you have an Imperial pack of screws?
Ah, these are metric. I have missed the joke.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. You had to be there.
I see.
Can I interest you in cider?
Andy K says, example of decent, cheapish 120 Hz monitor, please. Alright, let's have a... Yeah, what are our options there? I mean, to be honest, I'd be just picking anything that has a brand name attached to it. Like, well, a brand name that someone has heard of, you know. LG, Samsung, Asus, MSI, AOC, I guess. And stuff like that. Yeah. And yeah, they're all there, and they're all sub £100 now for, you know, 120, 180.
I bought very recently, what did I buy? Oh, I think it was the AOC 24G4X. I think that's what it was. Let me look at a picture. Yeah, that's what I got. And that was fine.
Yeah.
So
it says, like,
fine.
That says it's 180 Hz. Like, what was the smearing like, you know? Because I'm assuming that you don't get backlight strobing or anything like that on these.
No, it was fine.
Yeah.
I ran it.
High refresh IPS without some kind of backlight strobing or black frame insertion is rough.
Yeah, I ran it at like, I can't remember what I set it to. I think it had an option for like 158 or something weird. But like I set it to that and then just set it to fast or faster out of, I think it was like normal, fast, faster, fastest, even fasterer kind of thing.
Extreme.
And I set it to like 3 out of 5 and was like, there's no real overshoot here. This is fine.
Yeah.
This is kids' first gaming PC.
Yeah.
Anything will be better than the piece of crap AOC from 8 years ago.
I'll test. I ordered a couple of monitors yesterday, I think it was, because someone came in and they would have bought a monitor from me there and then had I had one in stock.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have any, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use monitors. It's like monitors are kind of evergreen, you know. Right, especially with the prices what they are right now. So I ordered a couple. I think I ordered a couple of LGs actually, and they were like probably 120 hertz. So I'll have to have a look at one of those and actually like try it out for myself. So yeah.
But like if you're looking for actually good ones, I know the Gigabyte G24F is fine in the sense of it's actually good enough to have received a review from someone.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, like the minimum price you have to get for stuff to start getting reviews is around the £180 mark. I think, really.
Yeah, which is a bit of a bummer because like these cheap monitors, there's going to be a lot of people looking at those being like, okay, but is it good though?
Yeah,
you know?
Like the M27Q is a ridiculously good monitor for the price now. 1440p, 170-ish hertz, £200.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's impressive because it's come down like 200 and something pounds.
So doing a couple of questions from chat. Kurt Dorr says, was Graham saying last week that B850 boards aren't good? Yeah, but the issue is that the rear I/O on all of them is crap. If you look at any B850 board, look at the back of it, and it'll have like 5 USB ports or something like that. That's the issue. And yeah, Cowdog's just brought up some motherboards. Just pick a random B850.
Where's B850 gone?
I mean, there's a bunch on the list in front of you. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Just pick a couple on that list as a quick example, and let's just check what rear I/O they have.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Right, let's see what.
Okay, so this is the Strix, so it's going to be passable. Yeah, that's fine, but it's the Strix.
Oh yeah, but it's a case of I was like, oh my god, am I going to look at the Strix and it's going to be garbage?
Oh yeah,
because
I
was about to.
Yeah. No, the
But it's also a case of you have to spend £280.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at stuff that's sub 200, which is the kind of prices that we want to pay.
Yeah. Hold on. Right. Do you have a picture? Yes. Right, let's swap.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Desktop with. Hold on. Browser with chat. Here is your brand new 2025.
Do you want to maybe like zoom
motherboard.
In on that because this is a picture for ants?
This is.
Oh no, it's doing the thing.
Hold
I
on.
hate it when websites do that. You zoom in and it resizes. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
It has 5 USB A's.
Yeah.
2 of which.
Only 3 USB 3 ports and a Type C. Like, come on. Just, gross. Like, this isn't an expensive board. How much is that board?
Guess.
Okay, so ASRock B850MX Micro, £100.
110.
110. Okay, yeah.
You weren't far off.
Yeah. But also, it's just like, no gamer wants 5 USB ports. That's garbo. That's trash, you know.
Right, and then you've got the DS3H, which has.
Oh, DS3H never misses. Yeah, okay.
And is okay.
Yeah, DS3H never misses. I
but it's
love
also
the
£125.
Yeah, and like that's not. Yeah, that's mid for a mid price, but like, you know, the DS3H that used to be like a 60 or £70 motherboard in the B450 days. You know.
So yeah.
And then look at that. They're all USB 2.
Yeah.
They're all USB 2. And it's £140.
I think the other issue we found as well is just it didn't have any internal connectors either.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
All of the IOs are
So I'm Infinite
meh.
says, why? How many USB ports do you really need? Okay, well, you've got your mouse and your keyboard, and if you're gaming, you're probably going to be using a gaming headset. So that's 3 straight away. So if you've got a gamepad, that's 4. If you're using a gamepad. So okay, we're up to 4, and I'm struggling to think of more for just like average gamer who's got nothing else. Can anyone think of anything else that everyone is going to be using? Like everyone.
You're gonna want a minimum of 5, just because you'll need to plug something in.
Yeah, you got your front ports for that though as well. Wi-Fi dongle, yeah.
Or a camera.
Yeah, or camera or Wi-Fi dongle, one or the other. So that's at least 5.
Yeah.
And now you're full. So yeah. Now let's switch to someone like obviously. And so that's the average person. So, okay, a bare minimum gamer could probably get away with it.
But it's also the fact of...
But also...
It's a £125 motherboard.
Yeah, that's it. Whereas...
That has no other features anywhere else either.
Meanwhile, I paid like, what, 140 did I pay? I think I paid 140 for a B650, and I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 USB 3 ports and a Type-C. There's no USB 2 on this motherboard, and it's a B650.
Yeah.
So that's the point, is just B850 just got massively nerfed. You buy a B650, you pay less money, and you get more. That's the problem with B850. Just completely nerfed into the Stone Age. So yeah. And again... And so, that was 5 things for a bare minimum gamer. Now, if you're a power user or a streamer, like I can start counting how many USB devices are on that bench over there. And like at home, I'm a game streamer, so I've got mouse, keyboard, gamepad. Then I've got camera, headset, microphone. Then I've got just a... My spare one is a Type-C. Then I've got another wireless keyboard in, but I guess that's pushing it a bit. Then I've got a USB capture card, so I'll give that 7. Then, come on, what else have I got? I do have like a desk light that plugs into a USB port, but I'm kind of grasping at straws now. Yeah. So, okay, I'm sort of... That's 7, but still, 7 pushes you past the sort of, 7 pushes you past that like 6+1 stack and things like that. So I'm sure I've got more than that, but I can't think of them off the top of my head now.
It's also just the fact that kind of...
Yeah.
That old boards...
Yeah.
Like
you might have a Stream Deck,
like the B650 boards, there were so many of them that were cheaper and had more connectivity.
Yeah.
And also had faster peak connectivity.
Yeah.
I think that's also the other thing for me, which is so egregious about it, is a lot of these B850 boards tap out at 10 gigabit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a 10 gigabit Type-C to me is not acceptable.
Yes, yeah.
It should be a 20
in this day and age, and I think that's also the point. Is okay, sure. I'm kind of struggling to list lots of USB devices off the top of my head without getting a bit ridiculous. But also the point is that B650 had more USB.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not a matter of whether you need them, but like why are we paying more for less? That's the problem.
Yeah. I think it's also just the fact of stuff should be getting better and faster.
That's right.
So it's a case of, I can understand the higher motherboards that have a stack of 4 Type 2s on there, and then the rest of them are 10 gigabit Type A ports with 2 20 gigabit Type Cs kind of thing. You know, that kind of setup makes sense. And adding in just bulk USB with a 4 stack of Type 2s makes sense when you've already got 4 10 gigabit Type A's.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's not egregious in the slightest, because there are lots of circumstances where you need several devices plugged in, but none of them are fast devices. So yeah. I think also the other thing as well is kind of, I don't know if that's the point JD was making, but just how expensive it is to add more USB with a non-shit controller.
Yes.
So yeah. But yeah, it's also a case of, yeah, as Reploid said, VR headset.
Oh yeah,
That's going to be another one.
Yeah. I mean, mine's wireless, but then if you're not using a wireless one, then you're going to be your VR headset is going to be plugged in by USB. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't know. And yeah, again, we can for the shop workstation over here, I've got 1, 2, 3 webcams, microphone. Then I've also got at least one power meter. Then I've also got programmer, battery analyzer, mouse, keyboard. I have a headset that I also keep plugged in for now and then when I'm Discording on there. So now I'm up to 10 devices, and and also that's only counting one of the programmers, and in reality I actually have 2. But I usually just swap them out and stuff.
Yeah.
And then also you're also going to want to have spares for plugging in like flash drives and stuff like that. And also the other thing as well is that you don't want all of the USB ports on the motherboard to be crammed full, because then now and then you're going to want to plug in a flash drive that's going to be like bulky and won't plug into the single port that's still available. So like now and then you need like some clearance around a port so you can plug in a bulky flash drive or something like that. And so again, it's just
and it's like, I feel like
it's difficult to make this point, but I know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like that 10 could possibly be compressed down to say 6 actual ports on the motherboard.
Yeah,
but that's still 6 ports on the motherboard.
Yeah. Why so frightened of USB hubs? I mean, mainly just because an actually good USB hub is expensive, so that's more money you're spending.
But it's also the case of motherboards should just not be shit.
Yeah.
We had connectivity before.
Yeah.
Now it's been taken away.
That's it.
I don't know why that's acceptable.
Yeah. Like, the old computer that I've got here, this is 7th gen Intel, and it's got 9 Type A ports and a Type C on the back. Granted that was a high-end motherboard for its day, but still.
Yeah.
Stuff
should be getting better.
Yeah. And again, I think our resistance is we're coming into that classic story where someone is just like, well, this is good enough for me, therefore we don't need any better. And I'm like, well, no, we're allowed to have nicer things.
Yeah.
Stuff should be getting better just because it can be. We have the technology.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ultimately,
There's certainly a time and a place. Like, if you're building a cheap PC, if you're building cheap gaming PCs, if you're building cheap office PCs, then sure, you can buy the cheap motherboard that doesn't have as much I/O on it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just want options. I want to be able to buy a motherboard that has lots of USB ports on it for sub £150. That's not asking much.
Yeah, and it's also kind of, as JD says, it's about the fact that, like the X570 boards, there are loads of them that had loads of USB 3 on as well. So, yeah.
No excuse for USB 2 now. That's USB 2 it depends, because
if it's only USB 2, well, absolutely. If it's majority USB 2, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you've got a total of 8 ports and 4 of them are USB 2,
that's fine.
I think that's fine because again, the majority of the devices, it's not going to matter.
A lot of the devices are not high bandwidth devices and don't need USB 3 ports, so therefore, I don't mind sacrificing some USB 3 in order to get a lot of USB 2. Because of just how they've divvied up the bandwidth. Having USB 2 ports is not criminal. Having majority USB 2 ports on a modern motherboard is criminal.
Yeah. Having 6 USB 3 at 10 gigabit and then adding in another 4 stack. Yeah, absolutely, not a problem. Having only a 4 stack of USB 2? No. Do not. But yeah.
I'm missing some thumb screws from this because whoever originally built in it didn't give back the thumb screws.
My thumb screws?
Yes, I probably got... Yeah, that's a Corsair one.
Yeah. I think it's just a case of, ultimately the comment of just, we should be allowed to have more.
Yeah. Because again, I brought this up in the Discord just because it came up in a podcast episode a couple of months ago when we were discussing monitors, and people were like, 1080p is fine and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but we could have more.
Yeah,
we have the technology to have more for less.
We should be on 4K as a minimum by now.
Yeah,
4K should be the kind of the cheap monitor by now.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, given the fact that we went from 800 by 600 to 4K in a decade, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much the manufacturing scales and things like that, but at the very least, saying that as time goes by, we should be getting more for the same money or whatever. As a blanket statement. Yeah,
the end consumer, 1080p should be that.
Yeah.
Basically not considered option.
Yeah.
These days, other than a very specific niche.
Yeah, and at the very least. We shouldn't be getting less, which again is the problem with B850.
Yeah.
Is just B850 is just objectively worse than B650. And yeah, it was a hoo-ha when it was released. Everyone looked at the spec on it and was just like, what? In fact, if my memory serves me, isn't the equivalent A series just better?
I don't remember. I think so, technically. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you didn't buy a Steam Deck, because it's still on 720p, 800p. Yeah, Steam Deck's a bit weird though. Steam Deck was
also a
really
7-inch screen.
Yeah, Steam Deck it's a 7-inch screen, and it was very aggressively priced, which I found forgivable. And also, you've got to consider that it's aggressively priced, a small screen, and the hardware that it doesn't have the horsepower to drive much higher than that. Yeah. So I'm not torn up over that. However, if the Steam Deck 2 came out and was 720p, that'd be a bit bad, because there's been a lot of advancements in those mobile chipsets.
Yeah, but not that much of advancement in performance.
Really?
Yeah, weirdly.
Oh, I assume just power consumption then.
Kinda, yeah. It's we're kind of in that thing where like the ROG Ally or whatever it is 8 times the power consumption and 20% faster.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're just at a weird, not really scaling point at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm hoping that we see a bit more with newer actual...
Okay.
Oh, God. What's the word I'm looking for? Newer, actual just graphics core designs.
Graphics.
Yeah. Killing Vega. That's almost a Karthik mission.
But my HBM. Right. Rugaba. Do I have...
You're not allowed RGB.
I saw a 4-pin RGB connector. I was like, oh, don't tell me it doesn't have ARGB. However, yeah.
It does. Also, cider. Would you like the yellow or the orange?
I'll try the yellow. I'm just going to plug all of these fans in and just mash the cables up the back. I'm not going to do a cable pornography job on this because it's not a customer build or anything. I don't super care that much. It just needs to be fine, Because also, doing really nice cable tidying is really time consuming, and I kind of want to get to starting this thing up. Yeah, so what's a good, reasonably priced, well-IO configured B650 board to throw some cash toward, AM5-wise? I mean, it does depend on what you want. You've got to have a look, really, and just decide what you need. I mean, the board that I've just put in this PC is I've just used the
MSI Gaming Plus Wi-Fi.
There we go. Good. The B650 Gaming Plus Wi-Fi from MSI. And after looking through all of the options last week, and we looked through a lot of motherboards last week, you know, I concluded that this seemed to have the best all round. You know, it's got the rear I/O on it is good. As said, you've got 4, 5, 6, 7 USB 3 ports and a 20 gigabit Type C port, and it has Wi-Fi on it. It's Wi-Fi 6. Yeah, it's Wi-Fi 6E, so it's not the latest Wi-Fi, but like Wi-Fi 6E is fine.
No one has
Wi-Fi 7 anyway. So yeah.
Oh no!
I see. Oh, it's open. So yeah, that's the one. You know, last week I concluded that this was a great bang for buck motherboard, and I spent my personal money on it. This isn't a customer build. I've had to pay for all of this. This is going into the shop, you know. And so I was willing to put down money for this board. So yeah. It's, you know, it's got its shortcomings. You know, it's, as I said earlier on in the stream, looking at the board, it's kind of threadbare. You know, you look at the audio circuit and it's got no capacitors on it and stuff like that. But also just the vast majority of people, again, you're using a gaming headset, or the vast majority of people don't have good speakers anyway, whatever. So yeah, that struck me as a good option. Sysfan, pump fan, Sysfan 1, Sysfan 2, Sysfan 3. Oh, they've spread out all the headers on it. Okay. Kind of tempted to get a fan splitter. In fact, I'm going to do that because I've got one. Ooh. I bet I'm going to come over here and find that I can't find a fan splitter now. There we go, there's one. I should probably order some more of these because I don't know if I've got any more. The motherboard has enough fan headers to plug in all 3 fans, but I'm going to put this splitter on just so I can plug them all into a single header, because a single header is perfectly fine with 3 120mm fans, and it just means there's only one fan curve you have to configure. You don't have to configure 3 fan curves to make them all in sync and such. Also, just to keep up with chat, at some point a little while back, I think it was Winston asked how you're getting on with those Huawei 4x3 monitors that you have at work. Are you still using the Huawei's?
I'll have you know, they're 3x2.
3x2, I see. Yeah.
They're 3x2 4K.
Yeah. Do you still get on with those well?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah. Very well. There you go then.
Yeah. Yeah, solidly fine. My complaint continues to be just the fact of, because it's all built into the stand, you can't take the stand off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because most of the electronics, I'd imagine, are actually in the base, not in the
That's
panel.
the problem with integrated things. And so, yeah, you've got, it's all built into the stand, so there's just not really any flexibility. And, like, it's really handy just being able to remove the stand of a monitor so you can just put it on. I want to use this monitor arm because of reasons, you know. So, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. I think Huawei only made them for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. Also, is anyone else having audio sync problems, or is it just beggar's belief? If not, refresh, please, beggar's belief, and that will probably fix it.
You've got the oh no monitor.
Oh no! What does this mean? Like, mate, view this.
It's awful. Apparently, it's absolutely garbage.
Oh, okay, that's sad.
Although they may have updated it, but I remember at some point one of them made view like normal 16:9 ones. They were selling it as, you know, calibrated IPS or something. And then the monitors that people were actually receiving were non-calibrated TNs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, oh.
if you're selling it and you're saying it's been calibrated, then it better be calibrated, because that does make a big difference. Right, man, there is no tie down points on this case at all. Well, there's no tie down points in useful places on this case. There are some, but
you can tie it all up under here.
Yeah, there's none in the middle though, which is where you want to put stuff.
Or I guess up there.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I could bundle it up the top. I'll bundle it further back, but yeah, there's none where I want to tie things back, and which I think is a bit strange, because like, it doesn't cost money to just stamp some tie points there.
Yeah. What do you think of the Silverstone floppy cases?
So I think they're cool. I'm happy they exist. There is Caradog, could you grab the thing so I don't have to let go of this bundle of wires I've made? I tried to reach, I'm like, I can't quite reach.
That'd be such a shame.
You whore. Thank you. Right. I'm going to use the crappy colours that I want to get rid of.
Here's a nice brown cable tie.
Yes. To go with your Noctua poop fans. What were we talking about? I had opinions.
Good. Floppy cases.
Oh yeah, the Silverstone cases. Yeah, Silverstone case. I think they're cool. I'm happy they exist. There's a market for it. The only thing that makes me sad is that they cost a fortune. I don't know if the new one is any cheaper, but
I'm sure the price is commensurate.
Last time I checked, they're like £300 or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad for a unit they'll sell hundreds of. Literally hundreds.
Yeah, I guess, but like, yeah, I mean, how? Yeah, could you check out the prices on them at the moment? I'm curious, since we're talking about them. I don't know why you're so upset for a couple of USB lists, but nothing for the extension of 5 1/4 bays. I guess it's easy for me to say, but like, who uses 5 1/4 bays?
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
The original one is down to £100 on a pre-order with no delivery date.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. I was about to be like, wow, it's £100. Okay, now you're talking, but it's on pre-order, so who knows what the price actually is. Does anyone actually have one? Oh, discontinued. Oh, they're just done with it.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew that they'd released a new one, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do... I do think 5 1/4 could exist in some places. It would be nice for there to be some options for 5 1/4. Fractal did a pretty good job of this with the Fractal Pop Air, where they put a 5 1/4 bay at the bottom. It was a bit of a limp-wristed approach, but it was there. It was a thing you could use if you needed 5 1/4. And now and then I do get customers who are just like, I have lots of DVDs and CDs that I want to import. I want a 5 1/4 bay. And yeah, so I do agree with that. That I do lament that. However, also, I'm allowed to lament B850 getting nerfed into the Stone Age. Like, I'm still allowed to be sad about that, even if I don't care about 5 1/4. I guess you could make the argument of, first they came for the optical bays and I said nothing because I didn't care about optical bays. However,
first they came for the media that basically no one used.
Yeah.
Then they came for the USB that people actually use.
Well, yeah.
And then people wondered why people cared.
Yeah.
I guess also just because you can have a USB Blu-ray drive, but you can't have a USB
yes.
to add USB when your USB is not USB.
I want to plug this flash drive into a HDMI port because I've run out of USBs.
Here is my 48 gigabit flash drive.
I've legitimately had people ask me for USB to HDMI converters because the HDMI port on their PS5 was busted. So they wanted to plug the PS5 into the TV through its USB port. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You need to get your HDMI port fixed. But that's the thing. They came to me and asked for a USB to HDMI adapter. And immediately I'm like, okay, this is the XY problem. What are you actually trying to achieve?
The actual problem is you're ham-fisted.
Yes. I need more people to understand what the XY problem is, so I'm going to explain it just for people who don't know what I mean by that. The XY problem is when someone comes to a support person or support forum asking for solution to problem X when actually they have problem Y. As an example, let's say I came to you and said, I've got an office chair with wheels on it, and it keeps moving every time I stand on it. How can I stop the wheels on my office chair from rolling so I can stand on my office chair? And you might be like, why are you trying to stand on an office chair? Well, the light bulb is gone and I need to get up and change the light bulb. Get a stepladder! Why are you trying to make the wheels on your office chair not move? Get a stepladder! This is the XY problem. And customers do this all the time. They're looking for a solution for a different problem. And it's like, no, you're just going about this completely the wrong way. And so, yeah, this is very common when people ask for really bizarro adapters. Like when someone asks for a USB A to A cable and you're like, what are you trying to do? Because I'm sure we can find an A to A cable, but that's not a cable that should exist. So I'm fairly certain you're trying to do something stupid if you're asking for a cable like that. So what are you actually trying to achieve? Because I'm fairly certain I can find a better solution that you actually want, you know.
Yeah.
Right. The computer is built. Oh, I need to put the cards in as well. I'm interested to see if the Ava Media card is going to work, because this wasn't working and I don't know if it's died.
Damn it.
Yeah. And while I kind of want to buy a 4-port HDMI card, having just forked out like 600 quid on this build, I'm just like, actually I'm not sure that I want to pay another £300 for a 4-port HDMI card. Although I might have to actually. Oh no, these are 1X. Really? Oh, fair. Yeah, these are only PCI 1X. I'm surprised. I need a cable. Graham, no you don't. Yeah. That's kind of it, yeah.
So I think the thing for me as well is just the ways that people cannot connect knowledge that they have. Like, in my office, there are people who understand the concept of downloading an attachment from an email to be able to then manipulate that attachment in some fashion.
Yeah.
Attach it to another document. Print it.
Yeah.
Read it. Right? But they cannot work out that because they downloaded it from their emails and saved it to the downloads folder, they could go to the downloads folder to find the document.
Yeah.
But if that document had been downloaded from a website, they could work that out.
Oh, yeah.
So they have opened the thing, saved it, and then gone,
where is it?
Where is it?
It's in the downloads, where everything that you download goes to.
But they have selected in the pop-up menu the downloads folder that contains the other items they can see in the downloads folder. They save it in that folder and then go, where is it?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know how to explain this problem to you because you already hold all of the cards that give you the answers.
On a similar note, there's still a very large number of people, and for the record, like, I'm not hating on people who are not computer savvy here. This is just an interesting discussion to understand how people don't understand computers. But another common problem that I come across all the time is someone who is like, I can't find my document in Word. And so you go, okay, please show me the problem. Please demonstrate what you're trying to do to me. And they'll open Word and they'll go file open, and there are no documents. And they're like, see, none of my stuff is in Word. I'm like, okay, where are the documents saved? They're saved in Word. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Your documents aren't in Word. You use Word to look at a document. The document is saved somewhere else, such as your documents folder. So where is the document saved? I don't know then. So usually if you start rummaging around on their computer, looking documents, looking downloads, you'll find it. And then you can be like, look, here's where you've actually saved the document. You see this is a separate thing, and you use Word to look at that, you know. And they start going, okay, I get it now. And usually they start then piecing it all together. But that's a really, really common thing that people do. And it's interesting to think about this, because it's interesting to consider how people fail to understand how computers work, you know.
Yeah. I think it's, but yeah. It's just, I don't know. I didn't know how to explain that if you saved a file in the downloads folder, you have saved a file in the downloads folder.
A lot of people just massively overthink it.
Like if you have gone through the process of saving a document into the downloads folder, in the same way you have saved a document into the downloads folder 96 times today.
But where was it saved, Caradog?
Why is this time different? Please help me understand.
I plugged in the power supply and the monitor flickered off, and I was like, oh no.
Not even flickered off, it just turned off.
Yeah, and I was just like, did I just kill the stream? No, we're fine. Right, cool. Keyboard.
You have a flat 3-pin male connector, not the standard. Is it a C19, JD? Like, you know, those heckin' 2 kilowatt power supplies for America. America.
Right. Got a keyboard. I'm just looking for the receiver for it.
A C9? Maybe?
Ah, there it is.
Oh, if you want the male one, a C10.
And the capture. HDMI in.
Ah. What I processed there was you throwing the capture card under the table and then holding in the HDMI cable. That's like, I think that's the wrong way round. I think you've made a boo-boo. Goodbye, Si.
There. Right. And Windows flash drive.
That's a good point. On the IEC cable types, there is not a C3, C4.
Okay.
But there is a C23, C24.
Yeah, maybe
there are that many combinations.
Maybe it's just an obsoleted one that is just not, that is just like, yeah, this is not certified anymore because it's, been replaced. Like, it was replaced with a newer standard or something like that.
I saw that in the small preview and thought that was a face winking.
Cool, right. Can we test capture?
No. Maybe. There we go.
Activate. I'm going to try and dive straight into BIOS. We are on DRAM and CPU at the moment. And the lights have gone out. Fans are changing speed. And we are at VGA.
There we go. New CPU installed.
Press Y to... Oh, well, it's... I didn't press Y, I pressed delete. We're on VGA again. Oh, okay, there we go. Right. Haha, it works, it lives.
Here is the UFI.
It's alive, check for all BIOS. Yeah, it probably needs a BIOS update. I'm going to get Windows installed because then I can just download the BIOS in Windows and stuff and just do it all on the computer. Right. Cool. I don't care about any of this right now. I just want to get Windows installed and then I'll configure BIOS. Oh. It did not go to boot. F7. Oh, it's not detected the flash drive as a boot source.
Is it a Windows flash drive?
It is. It should be my Windows 7 flash drive. Control delete
Your
and try it again.
Windows 7 flash drive?
Windows 11, yeah.
Fucking what?
Yeah. I can't remember what the boot hotkey is for MSI. I think it's F12. Although the only place it can boot from is the flash drive, so it's either going to start booting from the flash drive or it's going to go into BIOS. Yeah, it's booting. There we go. It's fine.
Here we go. Did you put in an SSD?
I did.
Good.
Install driver to show hardware. Huh. Why would it not find... Let's go into BIOS and see if we actually have a detected M.2. Reset. Corrupt USB. Might be. This flash drive gets used in a lot of stuff, and you know, like it gets pulled out mercilessly. So you know, might have just gotten unlucky. Let's just see if the storage is actually detected. Is it going to show me in easy mode? Right.
It is present.
Yeah, Kioxia. There we go. It has detected an M.2 drive. So yeah, that should be working. We are on. I'm going to use advanced boot because the usability of these is awful. CSM UEFI on. What does that mean? You know. So, like, right. Let's F7. Just make sure that CSM is disabled. It fairly certainly will be. Right, UEFI. Yeah, it is not in CSM mode. Good. Okay. So why did that not detect? Have we got any Super IO integrated peripherals? SATA mode, AHCI, that's fine. None of this affects NVMe anyway. That's weird. Why would it not detect the NVMe drive? I don't actually see any reason why that didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just try it again. NVMe RAID off. Yeah, let's just check if there's Super IO. I don't think there is any configuration for M.2 ports. System status, yeah. There's nothing to configure with it.
What have you got?
Ah, here we go. Gen mode auto. But it is detecting it, so that's not the problem. Rebar's on by default, fine. Yeah, that should be fine. And BIOS is seeing it. I'll just boot again and see if it gets it on the second attempt. If not, I guess I'll try a different Windows installer. It's just a Kioxia, Kurt. It's nothing fancy. Let's come up with language settings now.
It did it.
Oh, yeah. Now it's just found it. Fine. Install Windows 11. I don't have a product key.
My
Please
product?
use Pro N.
Why do you want Pro N?
Because the N is no to everything. It won't install all of the...
But it also means you don't have media frameworks.
Oh, does it ditch the frameworks as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the N
Fine.
modes are a French law compliance.
Yeah. I thought they just didn't include the default apps like Solitaire and stuff like that.
It's got nothing to do with that. It's got
Yeah.
everything to do with the inclusion of the ability to play audio files, video files.
Oh, very well. In that
Because
case, I'll do Pro Vanilla.
it was found that it was anti-competitive of Microsoft to include the media playback facility for MP3s
Yeah.
in Windows. But it was absolutely fine for Apple to sell iPods.
Yeah, I do agree that that's all nonsense. However, yes, I didn't realise that that was completely stripped out. I thought it was just like the apps weren't there, and I'm like, that's fine. I'll install the apps if I need them. But if it actually like has frameworks and stuff removed as well, then that's a
I
bit
tried
different.
using it once just to get FaceTime with it, and I could not make it so videos could play in web browsers. Nothing I could do would make it work.
Whack.
Because it just said that the extensions and stuff didn't exist in Windows.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Worried there might be something whack about the board. Yeah, I was a little bit concerned for a moment there, but yeah, always just retry once or twice or try another drive before you start jumping to conclusions. So yes, good. Right, stick that on there. Then I'll download I'll just download a BIOS update on another flash drive now while we're waiting for the Windows spinner to go. So yeah. Huh. Are you doing stuff over there
No.
already? Oh yeah. Right.
Here are one of my many USBs. Because this nice 8th gen board has lots of USBs.
Yeah, not a lot. This one's a bit threadbare, if I'm honest. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. 7 USB-A's and a Type C, which is fine. So yeah. B650 Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. We decided it was, wasn't it? Yeah, Gaming Plus
Yes.
Wi-Fi. Cool. Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. Support. Download LibIOS. Okay, and I'm going to grab a flash drive to put that on. There's one kicking around over here.
Is there one?
There is. I walked over to the YouTube computer instinctively and was like, wait, it's not there. Downloads.
Where did I download this to?
Oh, that's a text document. Copy.
Would you like to update your BIOS to be a HP printer driver?
Actually,
thanks.
it'll be a HP all-in-one.
No thanks.
I'll be a real boy. It doesn't matter which one it's plugged into. There we go. Good.
Doesn't matter which one it's plugged into, tries to plug into port, snaps USB. Well.
Right. When will we start to see more Type C ports than Type A ports on motherboards? Soon, I hope. I mean, I don't know about more Type Cs than Type As, but I certainly want to see more Type Cs. I'm very sad that that B650 and B850 you're lucky to have two. Most boards will have one, and you're lucky to have two. And I think we really are at the point where it's just like we can have more than one. You know, USB Type C is prolific enough that we can have more than one. And like, this is the thing: people aren't going to make Type C peripherals if no one has Type C ports. Yeah. It is a chicken and egg scenario that is solved by putting the ports on the computers.
It will get solved just by the fact of what can you use with a Mac laptop? Type
Yeah.
C. What
Yeah.
can you use with an HP EliteBook? Type C.
Yeah. But that's just not really pushing anything with PC peripherals. You know.
Headphones have to come with Type C because if you want to be able to use them with a laptop, which gets sold by the bajillion to companies.
True. Is that true for gaming headsets though?
I've no idea.
Yeah.
But if the original ODM of the chipset is forced to make it Type C, why would you remove that for your gaming product?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll move in that direction. That's the thing for me, genuinely, is whether there's a Type C unifying receiver.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Yeah. I would really like to see a Type C unifying receiver, because right now,
Oh my god!
if you have a MacBook and you want to use an external mouse, you can't. There is no fit and forget dongle because there's no Type A port.
Oh my god! They've made it even smaller.
Oh, that's neat.
Why? Why did they make it smaller?
Again, just so you can just fit and forget. But yeah,
But how do I get it out?
why would you want to remove your Logitech TM product?
Because
Sorry, why would you want to remove your Logitech registered trademark, USB unifying receiver trademark?
Because I need to migrate it to my new computer.
Just buy another one. Or something. I don't know. There's a joke in there somewhere.
But then that affects my carbon footprint.
True story. Is this the right country or region? Yes.
Wow, you can connect 6 devices at once? That's pretty swish.
Don't know why you'd want to. Unifying is cool.
Why wouldn't you want to?
I do not understand why. I've got a horrible feeling that Logitech have a billion patents on unifying, which must be the only reason why no one has copied it. I don't need other keyboard layouts. I don't have internet. Enter your name. I will be Adamant Space IT, I think.
I will be a child.
No password needed. I will set that later.
Oh my god, you can buy an M100 corded mouse for less money than a unifying receiver.
Yeah.
That's quite wild.
That's the only annoying thing about the unifying receivers. For most common mice and keyboards, it's cheaper just to buy another product, which is annoying. Also, I don't know. I think the unifying receiver isn't. Yeah, it's not the same as like the Logi Bolt USB receiver. It very much vexes me that the gaming mice do not use the unifying receivers. $14 for a USB Type C to Type A adapter. The heck out of here with that. That's a Mac. That's a Mac tax right there.
Would you like to carry your? Would you like a carrying case for your Aura?
For my Aura, I see. What is an Aura? Aurora.
Apparently, it's a headset and a gaming mouse.
Fair enough. Although they've got different top plates and stuff, they've obviously started trying to push into the customized keyboards and mice selection and such. Yeah, Razer are terrible for dongles. You break them, you buy a new mouse. Yeah, that's the nice thing is with Logitech. Like I have lost a Logitech receiver for one of my mice, and I was able to just buy another one on eBay and just program it to the mouse. So even though they don't work with the unifying receivers, I had to buy like I think it was a Bolt one or something like that. You can still just buy a new receiver and pair it to your device. You know. Which means they are replaceable, and I think that should be mandatory when you're spending, you know, $100 on a mouse.
Yeah. But no, there very much does not seem to be a Type C one.
Cool. Right.
Can I interest you in an ergo lift?
Reboot. An ergo lift. What is an ergo lift? Oh, that's the weird side mouse.
Lift.
Yeah. For those kind of people.
For people who want a more natural posture.
Fine. Yeah. $80.
The older version of this had a button on the top as well, of the like grip
Yeah.
that you could set as well. So there was forward, backwards in that button,
Hmm.
and that button you could set it so it would just type an emoji, because obviously it can just do a key press effectively. It can just do
Okay.
text input,
Yeah.
and I just set that as an emoji on someone's mouse at work.
Yeah.
So every now and then they'd hit it and just emoji.
I see.
It was just like,
Hmm.
But yes.
Can't cross-mix Logitech old orange with new green logo. That's the difference between unifying and Bolt. It's not new and old. It's just two separate products.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
unifying and Bolt.
Yep. I've got a 7000. It's a 7400F to be precise. Yes, it's not staying in there. I've got a 7700 on the way, but this 7400F is just a cheap placeholder. Yes, 7400F. Right. My source is this USB SanDisk, and I want that file there. All right. Yeah. BIOS version from G to K.
With your combo.
Indeed.
Combo.
BIOS is updating. Time to pull the power cord out and then reflash it using my SPI header cables that I bought and haven't looked at yet. But they have been delivered. I'm not going to do that on this board.
But then...
Don't trip on a cord now. It's true. What are you thinking about?
Seeing the 3D thing here. Have you seen the AR product thing that Amazon's got in the Amazon app?
No.
Where basically if you view a product on the Amazon mobile app,
Yeah.
you can then tap on a thing and it will put that product into the view through your camera. So you
Neat.
can see what it looks like. So if you're buying a sofa, you can see what the sofa looks like in your room.
That's kind of neat. Yeah. Yeah. That's a useful implement. Assuming it works, that's a
It
cool
seems to.
implementation. Yeah.
But also, it's AR. It's augmented reality.
Yeah.
It's got the wrong letters in for the buzzwords.
Yes.
It will soon
AI
be
enhanced
will
augmented
soon be-
reality.
will soon be rebranded
Yeah.
as AI enhanced reality.
Ugh. Have you ever benchmarked this processor versus the 7700? No, but the 7700 has another 2 cores and more clock, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just more, and the 7700 you can. I bought mine at 145 on Monday, I think. However, Sai did some extreme couponing during the week, and I think Sai saw them as low as like 127 or something like that.
80.
£80.
Yes.
Fucking hell, whatever. Yeah. So
Wait,
yeah,
what?
the reason why we go for the 7700s is if you do some extreme couponing or you just keep your eye out, you can see them at really, really low prices. So it's just like, why would you buy anything else kind of thing. So yeah. Bit toasty at 109. That's Fahrenheit. It's 43 centigrade. It's fine. Yes, this is AliExpress. Yeah.
The keyboard has a mute button.
So you can meow at people.
Thank you for coming. We are leaving. Goodbye.
End stream.
End
Now would be a good time to insert ads. For everyone who has an ad blocker or is a channel member, welcome. Actually, I'll guess I'll wait. I don't know how long the ad break lasts.
I don't know, but we can just continue talking in
Yeah.
one long sentence, moving from topic to topic.
I'm curious as to how many people actually got an advert then.
None. Zero. Everyone's an ad blocker. They're all baddies. They're stealing from creators.
Pirating. Oh, that was a bit scary. I put down my can, and the moment I put down my can, it clicked off. So yeah. It was quite hypnotic, says Reploid. We got one I did on my iPad. Thanks for contributing, AJ.
Thank you for your $0.064.
Maybe, I've no idea. I'll have to dig into. I'll have to have a look at the stats at some point and like look at last week's versus this week's and just see if there's any noticeable difference because we inserted an ad break. You know. But yes, a Dutch supermarket ad.
I mean, it makes sense. Look at their name.
Probably, yeah. Joke's on you, I have YouTube Premium. Good.
It's not like his name was McTavish and was in fact in Scotland.
French. Right, cool. So we've done a BIOS update. We've got Windows installed. I will connect to the internet.
Will you?
I won't connect to the internet because
that.
it doesn't have drivers. Okay. I will get a cheap-ass USB adapter so I can connect to the internet. It's fine, that's the old case. Right, we're done with you. We're done with you.
I don't know why my USB ports keep breaking.
Right, do we have... Yes, Wi-Fi available. The
password is...
Password 123.
Exclamation mark.
I require special characters. Is this the basic Win 11 wallpaper? Yeah, pretty much. They now have just the Bing wallpaper. You'll know it because it says learn about this picture in the corner. And like, I quite like it actually. This is really great for default wallpaper because they use cracking pictures for this slideshow. Like, personally, I always customize my wallpaper, but as a default background for just general PCs, the pictures they put on this rotation are absolutely stunning. They're always top-notch quality.
Feels very Star Wars Episode 1 to me.
This particular picture does, yeah.
Also, may I introduce you to colours?
Yeah. The difference between the two monitors, like the computer preview monitor and the capture, night and day different. It's extremely funny how radically different these monitors are.
Oh, God.
But yeah, this is IPS. So
Can I also introduce you to shadow detail?
Yeah.
Good heavens.
Oh, hold on a sec. There. Where is it? There. Yeah, just contrast, whatever. Okay, right.
That's whack.
I am going to grab NVIDIA drivers. I don't want any of this, just let me start browsing. This is why I hate Edge. Okay, right. NVIDIA.com. Oh, all caps. NVIDIA.
You can see you're angry now. NVIDIA drivers! Just download them!
I need the RTX to be on. Right. Oh, I just want... Oh, is that going to be the auto? Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I just want the game ready. GeForce? No.
Why do you not want GeForce
drivers?
drivers?
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be GTX or something.
That's fine. It's fine. Just hit download. Stop.
Ah, game ready driver. We got it. All right. Thanks. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just breathe. NVIDIA.
I'm imagining that as I don't know what the character was called, but it was in that Star Wars game you played. There was the small thing like this that was kind of tan coloured as an animal or a creature. I'm imagining you saying it as that thing.
Okay.
When you say NVIDIA like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Lisa Sudo.
Lisa Sudoku. Isn't fast internet access wonderful? Yeah, I don't know what this is. The speed is increasing, but We are on a really crap Wi-Fi adapter at the moment, though. Actually, I should have grabbed Wi-Fi drivers before anything else. In fact, Windows Update is probably downloading, which is why the speed is terrible now I think about it.
Who's Lisa Sue? No, wait, wrong cousin.
Oh, I have to grab first. No, I'll wait for NVIDIA drivers because I don't want Windows Update to grab graphics drivers. It's probably already doing it in the background. Actually, I can probably stop it from doing
Your
this.
successful 2 kilobytes a second.
Yeah, it's pretty dire. Hang on a sec. Windows Update, automatic update serve. Net stop. Die. Perish.
The fuck's up with your downloads?
Yeah, that's why I'm stopping the Windows Update service. I'm like, stop Windows, whatever you're downloading in the background, stop it. Perish. Please let me download the NVIDIA drivers. Either that or this Wi-Fi adapter is just absolute garbage, which it is anyway, I think. I'll angle it a bit toward the router to see if that helps. I'm also going to just start manually looking for Wi-Fi drivers.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go to the MSI website you already have open up here and select Wi-Fi driver.
So B650 gaming plus Wi-Fi. Yeah, then we've got to put it on a flash drive and stuff like that. It's fine. I'm already here. I've got
already
it.
done it.
Yeah, can you get it onto a flash drive before I do though? Le driver. LAN?
Yeah, AMD Wi-Fi drivers.
AMD Wi-Fi drivers. 7.4 megs, nice. I do like a small driver that doesn't have a bunch of garbage in it that no one cares about.
Is it literally... Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a setup in there and everything, but I'm just going to do drivers only, so...
Holy shit, look at that.
Device mangler.
That's almost like what you want.
Updates, browse, into downloads, AMD Wi-Fi drivers, go!
Error, no drivers for compatible hardware for found.
Ah!
You must install the chipset driver first.
RZ616 Wi-Fi E, 160 megahertz.
Yes.
Thank God.
It means you get the wide channel bands.
What is 160 megahertz then?
The size of your channels.
Oh, I see. Fair enough.
There you go.
Right, couldn't download, network issue. Okay, installing Wi-Fi drivers has messed that up. Okay, let's restart the download and we'll see if that has, and we'll see if it magically goes faster now. No, we don't need 5 gigahertz. The Wi-Fi signal in this shop is actually kind of naff, which is why I selected the 2.4 gigahertz network. Like, we're limited by the speed of the internet anyway. Resume.
That's a little bit more like it.
It's better, yeah. We are also streaming at the same time. The Windows Update service could not be stopped. There is no stopping the Windows updates. Alright, fine, whatever. How much do you want to bet it's going to install some random NVIDIA driver before I can install these ones?
Maybe.
Not on 5 yet? No, it's complicated.
It's complicated because it requires sending a text message.
Yeah, but also it is complicated though.
It requires sending a text message, Graham.
Shut.
Graham, totally unrelated. Where's your phone?
I don't know actually. Oh, it's on the bench over there. Yeah.
Just look here for me for 2 seconds.
Look into my eyes. Don't look anywhere else. Look into my eyes. Cool. All right, there we go. We have graphics drivers. Maybe. I think. It's thinking about it. There we go. Run it. Huh. That's a duplicate. Cancel that one. Oh, also, are we on XMP? We're probably not. I forgot to do that. No, we're not on XMP. I need to set XMP and I need to set a fan curve because the fans are ridiculous. And yeah, Windows Update is chuntering away in the background as well. What do we got? 6 cores, 12 threads. This is fine. Alright. Right. I do not want the NVIDIA app. Please die under a hedge. That was rude, I'm sorry.
Do not forget to install physics.
Who cares? Actually, who cares?
For next time you play Mirror's Edge,
On
you will
this
be
computer.
able to get
Yeah.
more performance than a 5090.
Just disable the like the last time I played Mirror's Edge, I think I just had physics disabled on it anyway.
You can't. It's like Borderlands.
I thought you could.
It's still
Yeah.
there.
I guess I had it working then because I didn't have any problems running Mirror's Edge.
Did you have an NVIDIA graphics card from the 400
yeah.
series or newer, but not a 5090?
Yeah, no, it was with my 4080, I'd imagine.
Then
but,
it would have worked fine.
Yeah, well, like I assume that means that I actually had the physics bit installed. You know.
Oh yeah.
Because it's what I try not to install stuff unless it needs to be there because it's just more stuff, you know. But I don't know, whatever.
They're coming out the wall sphincters.
I make that joke a lot, and very few people actually get it. And I'm like, really? Cool. Right, graphics driver. I'm not going to bother downloading anything else. Yeah, I'm not going to bother downloading anything else at this very moment in time.
The only other thing I'd get manually is the AMD chipset driver.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get that while we're here. Let's see. System and chipsets.
Type into the address bar AMD drivers.
Yeah?
Yeah, just grab it off the AMD website.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because I don't know, last time I looked at, I think it was MSI for a PC, it was like 4 versions out of date, and I was like, oh.
We're getting drivers! It's happening!
Help me, my drivers!
You are being installed. Do not resist.
Processor.
Ryzen 7000.
Any of the desktop ones.
Gotta select the right one. Oh, I
They're
can't
all the
select the right
same.
one. Okay.
Just any of the actual desktop ones.
Download.
Then it'll do everything.
Good. Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. We're done with that. Minimize that.
Run it.
We're done with that.
Again.
Restart later. Run that. Right, we'll do this install and then I'll reboot and do some BIOS stuff.
Yeah.
As fiber comes to the shop, it's still good. I need to migrate my landline number out to a voice over IP service because retaining the landline phone number while getting fiber seems to be one of the big sticking points. Various people are saying they can get me fiber, but as soon as you try to, it seems very uncertain that they would be able to successfully retain my landline number that I've had for like 15 years. I do not want to change that phone number, so I want to migrate it out to a voice over IP service with a third party so that number is out and safe. And then whatever I do with the fiber, even if that goes completely sideways, I'll still have my phone number, you know, because the company phone number changing would be a bit of a disaster.
All the drivers.
Cool, give me all of these things.
You will be drivered.
I will be driven. AMD PSP. Yeah, I looked at half those drivers. I was like, I don't know what any of that is, so I just said everything.
Important things. Stuff. Graphics.
You need your PSP driver. Wow, not able to port it with your fiber over there. Theoretically, it should be possible, but the reason why it's complicated is that there is weird entitlement problems with my property. in that
My property is weirdly entitled.
yes, basically this particular premises, no one is actually sure how it is hooked. It seems to be the computer databases are very uncertain as to what services are available to this property, and so a lot of things which should be easy to do, they're like, we don't know if we can actually do that. Like for example, when I first moved in here, they didn't even know if I could get fiber to the cabinet. Like they were only advertising 8 meg download, and I was like, okay, I'm assuming you're going to do better than that because the exchange is literally across the road from me. So yeah, there's just weirdness surrounding this particular property with just databases and stuff like that, and that means just certain things are not being marked as available. So they're just like they're not. Most people won't say we can retain your phone number because they don't know if they can retain my phone number, so they're not offering to retain my phone number and stuff like that. That's why it's complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated because of just the addressing.
Yeah.
And so on.
Yeah, bureaucrat. Yeah, it's just weirdness with databases and stuff like that. My friend is in a similar situation where he has really garbage fiber. He has really garbage fiber to the cabinet, and there is fiber on the road. Both of his neighbours have fiber broadband, yet when he calls any ISP, they're like, it's not available to your area. And he's like, both of my neighbours have fiber.
Yeah.
It is available. It's there. It's on the road. I've watched them lay the cable. But again, he has a weird entitlement issue where his house is just not listed correctly in some database somewhere, so everyone is telling him he can't have fiber when literally both of his neighbors have fiber. So yeah, why in the BIOS? I'm going to set a fan curve and I'm going to set XMP. So Expo, sorry, that's the one. So I'll have Expo and hardware monitor. Let's just set a fan curve. So CPU auto, that's fine. I'll probably leave that at the defaults. I don't care about this being super quiet. What's bothering me is that the system fans are at 1800 RPM. Please be silent. Right. You can stay at 4 volts at 40 degrees. And you can you can stay at 4 volts all the way down to 60 degrees, to be honest. And then you can start ramping to 7 volts at 80 degrees. Good enough. And then we ramp to 100% at 100 degrees. That's our panic mode. That still puts me at 1200 RPM. We must be able to get lower than that. Let's drop to 3 volts.
Is this the front fans?
Yeah.
The other thing I do want to just double check.
Anti-stall. Okay, yeah, no, they won't start at that speed. Okay, let's bump them up a little bit. 3.6? Yeah, there we go. They'll start at 3.6. Yeah, that's our minimum then. And I'll just push that down to 5 volts at 80 degrees. Oh, they're in DC mode. That's why it's wacky. That's more like it. Now we've got 400 net. Yeah. I was like, how are these things still sitting at like 900 RPM? Now they're at 580. That's more like it. So yeah, for some reason or other, the motherboard had auto-detected DC mode instead of PWM, and they're PWM fans. I was like, these are Corsair fans. They can't be that terrible. Good. Okay, right. Those are nice and quiet. Okay, that's that fan that's loud. Yeah.
Why is the fan loud?
I was like, I'm still hearing a lot of whooshing noises. What is making a noise here? It is not the PC. Cool, right. That's that done. Right, close that. We've turned on Expo. I'll have ERP. And yeah, that'll do. Right, save and exit. Good. Cool. Right. Now we just need to run Windows Update, and I'm going to start installing
OBS.
Start installing OBS, and we'll do the OBS configuration. Rebar was on by default. I'm not going to bother checking PBO because the CPU's coming out in a week anyway. Yeah. I mean, actually, I think I've already missed it. But yeah, I guess we could turn it on, but I always forget that PBO isn't on by default. Oh, hey, I did catch it in time. That was weird. Oh, it was because it was RAM training. Right. Lit advanced. Right. Settings. No. Advanced.
No.
No. MSI driver utility. Absolutely not. Okay. Accept. Precision boost overdrive. Enabled. That'll do. What's in advanced? Yeah, that starts allowing me to change things. No, I'm okay.
Change the limits. Yeah, go.
Yeah? What,
and then
anything you would change
from the PBO limits on auto, what
Yeah.
options you got? Yeah, change that to motherboard.
Yeah.
And then change the boost clock override, that one, and just put it to plus 200. You should be able to...
200, huh?
Yeah, because it just means that the boost can, in theory, go up to 200
Oh,
higher.
yeah, to just say, yeah, so we're just putting in an arbitrary, like, as high as you can go, just push it to the
Yeah.
max kind of thing there. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, sure. Oh, that, okay. Interesting, it doesn't show those options on the save configuration, but yeah. I'm going to save that as a profile just for brevity.
Yeah.
It's profiles. Save changes? No. Oh, is it in overclocking? No. Oh, is there no profiles on this? Oh, here we go. OC profile. Cool. Save and exit. Save and reboot. There we go. Okay.
Do you watch Jay's 2 cents?
I do, yeah. I haven't seen his latest video today, but yeah, I do watch. I don't watch all of his videos, but yeah, I do watch Jay.
Yeah, only because Winston and possibly someone else saying about, have you seen Jay's video about NVIDIA drivers disabling rebar even if it's enabled in the BIOS?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that I think that's his video today because his most recent videos is he's building a new extreme overclocking rig. Because he'd been using a 9800X3D, and he was just like, everyone on the Extreme Overclocking Club has gone Intel, so I'm going Intel. So he built an Intel one, but he found, like, before he even started trying to do big numbers, he couldn't even just match his 9800X3D. So he was like, obviously something is wrong here, because I can't even reproduce the previous number. And then he did he faffed around for ages, and then was just like, did a okay, that's the end of this video, and then cliffhanger, oh my god, it's this setting, everyone needs to know about this, end video kind of thing. The sequel has come out today, and yeah, apparently it turns out it's some rebar thing. So yeah, I don't know the details on it because I haven't watched the video, but yes, I heard that there was a thing. Okay, right, just gonna make sure that is doing things. So yes, I should probably should double check that rebar is actually on. I could grab GPU-Z super quick, couldn't I? Actually, that'll tell me. Was it downloads? Latest version available in the download section. ROG themed? Hell yeah. No.
Was it like 9 megabytes larger?
No, it was the same size. I did check that, yeah. That would have been extremely funny.
I thought the other download was 1 megabyte and then the ROG theme one was 10.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Do you want an entry on the start menu? Yeah, sure. I'll install some utilities. Alright, run it. Right, that is doing stuff, that's fine. Right, rebar. Where
I see.
is...
Apparently, the point in Jay's video was that GPU Z only tells you if it's enabled in the UEFI.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, because it says rebar is enabled here, but the
Yeah.
implication is that that is... yeah, so how do we know if it is not working then? Do you need to check the NVIDIA? I can check
You have
the
to use. You
NVIDIA
might have to
control
use
panels.
Profile Inspector.
Can we tell from here? I don't think the control panel will tell us. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think we. Oh, system information. Resizable bar. It says resizable bar. Yes. I'm assuming it's on then because everything says yes.
I've no idea. I've not seen
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah. I'll check the J video later on. So yeah. Needs NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Okay. I don't think I care that much right now. Yeah. What is the NVIDIA Profile Inspector? Is that a third-party utility we need? I can't, like, because we're talking about this, now I'm curious. Not because I think it matters on this computer, I just want to learn. It's a download, okay. Extract. Profile Inspector. SE. That's lots of data. Rebar feature. Yeah, see, this says rebar feature disabled. Is this it? Is this what everyone's talking about?
Maybe.
Anyone in chat know? Three settings in the video. Yes, I'm not going to sit and watch the video right now. Yeah, that's it. Oh, fascinating. Okay. All right, so what settings do we need to change then? So we need rebar feature. Interesting, there's a couple of settings for it as well. Yeah, okay. What do we want then? Just select enabled. Yeah. Plus some others. What settings? Help me out here, folks. What settings? Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, so 0, 1. Fair enough. And is there anything else we need to change here? Rebar options to, yeah. Okay, so we've done that. Do we need to change anything else here? That's it.
Yeah, the rebar options.
Rebar options.
There apparently other ones in there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, rebar options. So, yeah, we've done feature, we've done options. And the third one has more stuff in. Yeah, what do we want for the third option? Not because any of this actually matters for this computer, I suspect, but just as an interest, this is what everyone is talking about right now. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, for brevity, apparently that's the rebar setup you want to do now. Yeah, I selected the fourth option there.
The
Red
four.
Dead on third. Oh. Okay. So first option is set to 01, second option is set to 01, last option is set to 4 bajillion. So yeah, cool, apply changes. I have applied. Interesting. I will have to do some testing over the weekend and just see what happens for home. I wonder if this has anything to do with the fact that, like, there's always been a bit of contention over whether enabling rebar actually makes a difference or not. I wonder if this has been a thing where in a lot of cases rebar has just actually not been on properly.
I don't know.
Yeah. Curious. Fair enough. All right. Okay, that'll do for now. I will watch the Jay's 2 cents video later to get more information, but yeah, that's what everyone's banging on about right now. This has a 3060 in it, and I will not be using it for gaming, so it doesn't actually matter. But, for the record, that's what everyone's talking about. Right, Google Chrome. Beg me to stay, Bing, I dare you. Beg me to stay. You're going to beg, yeah. Die. Alright. Side quest completed. Stay! Don't Intel GPU suffer with performance? Yeah, Intel Arc really needs rebar. Like Arc is very, very dependent on rebar. This is an NVIDIA implementation, though, it seems, that of the issue. So, yeah. Why not Firefox with AdBlock? Yeah, I will be downloading Firefox as well, because I use that for other profiles. But at present, all of the Adamant IT stuff is on Chrome. So, yeah. I do want to move it off of Chrome, but today is not the day to do that. Only really matters for OC since it's one of those every last drop steps. That's fair. Right, set as default. Alright, how are you doing Windows updates? You're still doing stuff. Cool. Alright. I don't even know what the right answer is for these, to be honest. Sure. Okay, right. OBS Studio. Heck off. Windows. Download. Okay, cool. Right. And I also want Insta360 link software. Insta360 link controller. Download. Right. That's a starting point. Alright. I'm going to unplug the bench cam and plug it into this PC. How are we doing for time?
3 hours.
3 hours. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. We're going to do a super hyper setup in OBS then, I think. We'll just get the bare essentials working. I did kind of want to sit and set up profiles and things like that, but yeah, that's going to be a while. Also, like, it's going to be kind of difficult to get that set up because most of what I'm going to be plugging in is on that bench. So, yeah, we're kind of going to do a very basic setup, I think.
Or don't set any of it up. Capture the HDMI out of this, screen cap it on here, and then just record the entire thing. And then voice over it.
Oh, and just do that as bonus video kind of thing, so people can see the whole thing. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I might do that then in that case, because I did kind of want to do the full setup, because I've been threatening to do my recording setup videos for ages.
I'd do it effectively as in the style of a mainline.
Yeah.
Just HDMI capture to this machine and set it up. Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, we'll do that then, because, yeah, we're at the 3 hour marker, and I don't like going past 3 hours. Also, I'm tired, and I need the bathroom. So.
I'm tired. Okay, we're leaving. Thank you for coming. Goodbye.
No! Okay, but soon. All right. Yeah, we're basically there. Copy your app data? Absolutely not. So for everyone who's been like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, firstly, I'll set it up how I like it, not how you like it, with respect. But also... I'm not going to copy any data from the old machine to this one, because the old machine is riddled with just oddball things that are symptoms of a computer that has not had a rebuild or a reinstall of Windows for a long time. I don't want to import a whole bunch of guff that's sitting in the app data folder. I want to set everything up from scratch so everything is nice and clean and using the latest settings. Because while you can save yourself some trouble by just dragging across all of your app data folders and stuff like that, but also you start bringing in a lot of bespoke inefficiencies where there are just weird settings where you've completely forgotten how you even had something set up. You just keep copying your preference files and hoping they never break. So like the whole point of this new build is to get that clean start and be like, right, fresh install of Windows, set it all up from scratch, mental reminder of how we set all of this up again. So yeah, so that's that. So yeah, not all just OBS data. Same, to be honest. Yeah, like it is very convenient to import your stuff, but also like my OBS profiles on the old machine are riddled with old scenes that aren't used, scene collections that aren't even configured properly. I haven't looked at the encoder settings for over a year. So like the encoder settings might be completely insane by modern standards, you know. So that's why I wanted to set it all up from scratch. This is the time to make sure that your settings are actually good. So yeah.
Yeah. Just change them when you can.
Indeed. So yes. All right. Well, that being the case, I'm going to get out of here and I will carry on setting this up. I'll do a video to carry on the setup for this. I might pop in on Monday and do that, just so it's ready to go when I come in on Tuesday for an actual work day. This is ready to roll. Because yeah, the problem I've now got is that the old system no longer runs because I've taken the power supply, and originally I'd envisioned that computer would still work, but it does not. So yeah. All right, we're getting out of here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You got OBS Chi-Chi. I don't know what that is. So yeah. Right. We're getting out of here. We'll be back next week with something else, I guess.
We are leaving.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Are we here next week? When? Oh, when's Goodwood?
9th of July.
Oh yeah, no, that's next month. Yeah, we're fine then. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, no, that's fine. All right. See you all soon. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.